How's going guys, welcome to the channel. In this video we are gonna see, what if Naruto used tailed beasts to fight Anthro Ponies? Part 3. If you wants to see awesome fanfiction like this, don't forget to subscribe. Now let's get into the video. Applejack was the first to wake up. She put on some jeans and a white tank top and went out to the field. The others came out as well. "Pia Applejack," said Pinkie Pie. "Oh, hey guys," said Applejack. "Now we have to wait for Naruto to arrive," said Pinkie Pie as she had on a big grin. 10 a.m. "I'm going to kill him," said Pinkie Pie as her expression turned to mad. She was stomping her foot impatiently. The others, except Naruto, came and saw the pseudo-Jinchuriki's expressions. "Naruto's not here yet?" asked Gaara. "Nope. But he has a lot of explaining to do," said Applejack. Naruto then arrived. "Sorry I'm late. Granny Smith needed some help so I agreed," Naruto said as he made a little lie, hoping to lift everyone's spirits. "Liar," said his 26 teammates. "Naruto, what's on the agenda today?" said Spike as he let his anger subside. "We shall go over about chakra natures and jutsu and hopefully we can get you started on your jutsu training. Now, there are actually 3 groups of jutsu. Ninjutsu, Taijutsu, and Genjutsu," said Naruto. "3 types," said Applejack. "That's right. Taijutsu is fighting with your arms and legs. You don't need to use chakra and are only required to use stamina, however you can use chakra to enhance the moves if you want to. Ninjutsu is using your energy to perform a technique just like Rasengan, and Genjutsu is using an illusion to trick your opponents into thinking that there is something there. Genjutsu is actually a form of yin-style jutsu. The last 2 types of jutsu require chakra instead of just stamina." "Wait," said Fluttershy in a meek voice. "What is yin?" "Oh, we forgot about that. Yin-style jutsu is using spiritual energy. Its counterpart is yang-style jutsu which uses physical energy. Together they create yin-yang style." "You have an example?" asked Spike. "Let me tell you a quick lesson. When the Sage of 6 Paths created us tailed beasts, he used a technique known as creation of all things. By using yin chakra, he made us Biju out of nothing from the 10 tails chakra, then used yang chakra to breathe life into us. In other words, he could make his fantasies and dreams become reality. That is why people have revered him as a god," said Kurama. "Wow," said Pinkie Pie. "All non-elemental jutsu are made through the use of yin-yang. An example is Rasengan. However, some clan techniques such as the mind transfer technique and the multi-expansion jutsu are purely yin-yang release when they change the ratio of spiritual and physical energies in their chakra. But we'll get more into that later," said Naruto. "Plus, when you make jutsu, each jutsu must have the correct amount of each energy, otherwise the execution of the technique will be ineffective and you'll burn your energy. That is why it takes years for ninja to become skilled at these things," said Kokuou. "Years? But we don't have that kind of time," said Rainbow Dash. "Slow down. That is why we are going to help you train faster," said Kinkaku. "Increase our training." "How?" asked Spike. "The shadow clones. Every time a clone experiences something and it gets dispelled, the original body receives the information," said Jayuki. "How will this help our training?" Applejack asked, not getting the concept. "If you train alongside a clone for 1 hour, you'll get 2 hours worth of training down in 1 hour. With 4 clones, you'll get 4 hours worth of training." The rookies finally caught on. "So, if we can make a huge number of clones, we can do training in a few weeks or months," said Spike. "That's about it. So, we can get this done in no time. There's a problem with that. You need to have a huge amount of chakra as every time you make a clone, your clone receives an equal amount. If you keep making clones, you and your clones will only have a little each. Also, a risk about this is when your clones feel fatigue and they dissipate, the user will feel all of that stress, and that may not be good for you." "What about you, Naruto?" asked Fluttershy. Naruto had his fox line grin and quickly did the clone sign. Naruto multiple shadow clone jutsu. A huge cloud of smoke appeared and when it went away, over 300 clones or more appeared across the field, shocking the students. "Because those from the Uzumaki clan have a huge abundance of chakra and I'm Kurama's Jinchuriki, using the technique is of no issue to me. However, I may also feel fatigue when I train for a long time with my clones," said Naruto. The clones then disappear. Naruto then got something from his pouch. It was a little scroll. Naruto threw it to Spike who almost dropped it but got a good grip. "What's this?" asked Twilight. "When I studied the shadow clone technique, I wrote down the contents and put them on this scroll to remember later. Look over this and try it out," said Naruto. "Yes sir," shouted the pseudo Jinchuriki. Naruto theme songo. 4 hours later. Training, conclusion. Spike and the girls were studying hard to make the technique. They were trying their best, but their clones became duds similar to what Naruto made when he tried the Academy clone jutsu. Meanwhile, their mentors were playing cards nearby to pass the time. "Ugh, I'm bored," said Naruto. "Have they finished yet?" asked Kurama as he was playing against Son Goku. "Not even close," said Gyuki. Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash both made clones that appeared ill. This made the two ponies depressed. "I feel so sorry for them." "Why is this so hard?" shouted Twilight. "I thought you were Princess Celestia's personal student. Guess you're nothing but a dud," said Yugura as he was watching the training. "What was that?" said the agitated mare as she a tick mark on her forehead. She left her anger state and continued. Spike was tired and collapsed. "Think Spike. Think," thought the young dragon as he was lying on the ground. He was thinking of any way to complete this jutsu. He then remembered Naruto and Kurama's lesson. Flashback. Each jutsu must have the correct amount of each energy, otherwise the execution of the technique will be ineffective and you'll burn your energy, said Kokuou. Then flashback. Spike looked up and felt like the girls were exerting not enough chakra. He then reflected on his tree climbing and wall practice exercises. Of course, thought the young dragon. "Guys, I figured it out," shouted Spike. The main six stopped and looked at the dragon assistant. "So, you've finally caught on, Spike," Kurama thought with a smile. 1 hour later. The male Jinchuriki and Biju were knocked out while the females went to their chores. The guys were supposed to watch Spike and the main six finish their training, but they were out for the count. When Yugura opened his eyes, he saw Pinkie Pie looking right at his face. "Yah!" shouted Yugura as he got up from that little scare. "Ahaha. Woo, I sure got you good, Yugura," said Pinkie Pie while rolling on the ground. "Pinkie Pie, you almost gave me a heart attack," said the Mizukage. "Well, you never should have scared us yesterday," said Applejack. The main six were right by her except Fluttershy, who went to check on her animals. "You put her up to this?" "Of course. What better way to get payback than to have you taste your own medicine?" said Rarity. "Hey girls," said Naruto. The girls turned around to see Naruto and Spike have creepy masks on. "Ah," said the main five as they fell just like yesterday. "Guys 2, girls 1," said Naruto as he and Spike took off their masks and gave each other a fist bump. "You're such a loser, Uzumaki," said Rainbow Dash. "Really? Then how did we scare you guys twice in 2 days?" said Spike. The rest of the guys then awoke from their slumber. Shukaku rubbed his eyes and saw the girls still a little shaken. "What? You guys scared the girls without waking me up?" said Shukaku. "Yep. It was so simple, I thought they weren't going to fall for it," said Naruto. Fluttershy then returned. "Okay, I'm back," said Fluttershy. "Now that you waken up us, let's see if you've finished your shadow clone technique," said Naruto. The girls nodded and with Spike by their side, they made the clone sign and channeled their chakra. "Shadow clone jutsu," shouted the pseudo Jinchuriki. A cloud of smoke surrounded the pseudo Jinchuriki. When it cleared, about 10 clones from each individual and none of them showed major signs of fatigue. "Impressive," thought Naruto. "Nice job, you guys. You made your first jutsu. But, how did you finish the shadow clone technique?" "Simple. Spike told us we have to balance our energies, otherwise it won't work. He noticed that all of us were just pouring in too much of the energies," said Twilight. "Yep. We did it thanks to me," said Spike as he beamed brightly. "So, they learn quickly by doing it until they get the hang of it. I just hope they're not becoming more like me," thought Naruto. "Dispel them and you can begin your chakra natures." They did as they were told and the clones disappeared. They felt a little tired but wanted to finish this. "So, how will we see our chakra natures?" asked Applejack. Naruto then reached into his pocket and pulled out a bunch of papers he got from Kakashi a little while ago. These slips of paper are made from a tree that absorbs chakra. Naruto then grabbed one and put it into his hands. The paper then splits into 2 and torches. The ponies and Spike were confused about what happened. If you have wind, the paper will split, fire will torch your paper, water will douse it, lightning will wrinkle it, and earth will cause it to crumble away. Naruto by that definition has wind," explained Kurama. "Just place your chakra onto this paper and you will learn your chakra nature," Kokuou said as he gave each pseudo Jinchuriki a slip of paper. The 7 focused their energy and channeled their chakra into their paper. Spike's and Twilight's paper were torched, Pinkie Pie's and Fluttershy's split in 2, Rainbow Dash's crumbled, Rarity's was soaked, and Applejack's disintegrated. So Spike and Twilight have fire, Fluttershy and Pinkie Pie have wind, Rainbow Dash has lightning, Rarity has water, and Applejack has earth. Kurama said as he was observing the affected papers. "Peculiar thing, Kurama," Kokuou said, narrowing his eyes. "Huh?" everyone said in confusion. "They gained the ability to mold chakra thanks to my chakra," and yet he then looked at Twilight and Rarity. Only these two have my chakra natures. Fire and water. Yeah. Kokuou then emitted steam. My boil release is what we refer to as a Kekkei Genkai. A combination of two natures. By combining them together, I essentially make a new nature. What are you saying, Sugar Cube? Applejack asked. What he's implying is that the six of you should have fire or water as your dominant nature, since you got your powers from him. But most of you break that mold. Gaara explained. It's a hypothesis but not unheard of. You six have my boil release, but you might have more than that. So Rainbow has not just lightning but fire, water, and your boil release. Spike said, piecing the words right. That's right. Kokuou said, nodding his head. And Twilight and Rarity have your missing natures. Yep, and they might have more natures. You and Naruto are on the nose since Kurama has both fire and wind. Alright. Rainbow yelled, throwing her fist into the air. Not so fast. Kokuou said, stopping her celebration short. You might have more than one chakra nature, but one will be your affinity or your most powerful chakra nature. Take the Tanuki here. Kurama said, pointing his thumb at Shukaku. He has magnet, a combination of earth and wind. But he typically uses wind a lot. So now what? Said Rarity. In order to perform your jutsu, you must be in tune with your chakra nature. When I form a wind-style jutsu, I make a picture in my mind of my chakra splitting into two separate parts that grind against each other. I want you guys to be working on forming a change in chakra nature. Naruto explained. As you guys work on this drill you'll be more in sync with your nature. Work on your dominant nature till its second nature. Kokuou said before the boys turned around. The girls will be looking over your training for a while. We got some stuff to take care of. Said Naruto as all of them left via body flicker. The pseudo Jinchuriki then started their training. Okay, I'm starting. Said Pinkie Pie in an exuberant manner. The others weren't going to let this hyperactive pony get ahead of them, so they pursued after her. 1 week later, hidden Rock Village. Inoki was looking through the crystal ball while watching the others. He was thinking about how he could have had Rashi and Han's lives be better before they were taken by the Akatsuki. He would have to thank Naruto should he return. So, what are they doing, Grandpa? Kitsuchi asked as she came into the office. See for yourself. Said Inoki. Ponyville Jinchuriki's new house. The guys were moving some stuff into their new house while the girls oversee the pseudo Jinchuriki's training. As Rashi was moving some stuff, he threw out his back. Yeah. My back. Said Rashi. Take it easy, Rashi. You'll end like Inoki before long. Said Han. Inoki rubbed his back while cursing Han's statement. Looks like the house is coming along nicely. Said Kokuou. We each have our own bedrooms and we can move in while we wait for Celestia to return us home. You know, Kokuou, your bedroom could be the nice space you can have to be alone with the girls. Said Shukaku. Kokuou blushed. Shukaku. There is nothing going on between me and them. Said Kokuou as he crossed his hands while blushing. I see you making glances at them. Trying to look under their skirts. Kokuou just punched the Tanuki and the youngest sibling went down like a rock. Jinchuriki training field. Spike and his clones were panting because they were pouring in chakra, but nothing was working. As a dragon, I should have the affinity of fire. Spike thought. Flashback. When I form a wind-style jutsu, I make a picture in my mind of my chakra splitting into two separate parts that grind against each other. Naruto said as he explained the exercise. Then flashback. Spike called over his clones. Hey, what if we made an image just like Naruto did his? Spike asked the clones. We're listening. Said one of the clones. Naruto said he imagined splitting his chakra. So, we imagined something about ourselves that will help. Alright. That's the plan, boss. Said another clone. Boss. I like that. Said Spike. The clones grabbed their leaves just like Naruto did. The girls were also thinking, but they were sitting down meditating. They were frustrated by the lack of progress, so they ended up forming more clones. 2 weeks later. NGGGH. Grunted the 7 pseudo Jinchuriki as they were using leaves. Almost there. Thought Spike. He and his clones see their leaves ignite in fire. Alright. The Spike shouted. Twilight and her clones also ignited their leaves. Applejack and her clones saw their leaves crumble. Pinkie Pie, Fluttershy, and their clones split their leaves in half. Rarity and her clones doused their leaves. Finally, Rainbow Dash and her clones crumbled their leaves. Yee! Shouted the main 6 except Fluttershy did it a bit more quietly. When the clones disappeared, the 7 pseudo Jinchuriki stood alone in the field. That wasn't so taug, said Rainbow Dash until she and the others pass out due to using too much chakra. Suddenly, a yellow flash grabs them and sets them by the tree. The flash was Naruto in tailed beast mode. So, you all managed to do it, eh? Naruto said to them. 1 hour later. Huh? Spike said as he and the main 6 woke up. They saw Naruto without his tailed beast cloak looking out at the field. "Looks like all of you have passed. Now, the others would like to speak with you all," said Naruto. Naruto headed over to where the tailed beasts and the Jinchuriki were headed. "So, you all woke up, eh?" said Shukaku. "All of you? Ever since you started about 2 months ago, you've all done well. Even though you're not up to par with us yet, you've been doing the exercises with flying colors," said Gaara. "Thank you, Gaara," said Twilight. "Now, we want to talk about summonings." "Summonings?" said the main six. "Summonings. It's when you sign a contract with an animal and blood and call them to aid you in battle," Naruto said to them. "BL blood?" Fluttershy said as she was trembling. "Calm down. You can just bite your finger to do it," said Son Goku. "Because of the dimensions, we have to use Biju chakra to get an animal here. A little while back, Naruto summoned a toad by using my chakra. You don't have to do it yet, but I'm going to summon an animal to show you," said Kurama. "You can summon animals, Kurama?" asked Naruto. "Of course. It's about time you learn about kitsunes," said Kurama. Kurama bit his finger and emitted a huge amount of chakra. Kurama summoning jutsu. Kurama made the summoning and a huge cloud of smoke appeared. "Alright, you ugly things. Gaze your eye on the most beautiful fox there is," Chizuru said, a yellow fox with yellow ears and twin tails. She had a red kimono with the insignia of a fox. She had red lipstick as well as black sandals. Everyone was shocked by her appearance and didn't say anything. She then got mad. "What the hell is your problem? You've set your sights on the most beautiful kitsune there is and you've just stand there without saying anything." Kurama then sighs. "You're still the same as ever, Chizuru," said Kurama while rubbing his head. "Master Kurama, is that you?" "Yes, it's me. I'm confused. You know her, Kurama?" Naruto asked with great confusion. "Yeah. Before Madara controlled me, I was known as a god to the hidden Kitsune village. She may not look like it, but she's over 200 years old." "What?" said the others, except the Biju. "But, she looks 16 years old," said Spike. "So? Kitsune grow up to be 1000 years old," said Chizuru. "Every 100 years, Kitsune grow a tail. At 1000 years, they have 9 tails," said Kurama. "Which means," said Chizuru as she put her twin tails on Spike's chest. "I'm available anytime." Before the main six could protest her behavior, a fan hits Chizuru on the back of the head. "Oh. Granny Natsume." The newly appeared fox was old. She was brown and had wrinkles in her eyes. Like in an anime, her eyes appeared close. She had a brown robe and she had brown sandals. Also, she had 8 tails. Kurama summoned her when no one was looking. "You never learn, do you, Chizuru?" asked Natsume. "It's great to see you again," Kurama said as he bowed to the old lady. "Everyone, this is Lady Natsume." "Hello," said the others. "Master Kurama, care to explain what is going on?" asked the old lady. "We are located in a new world. We're waiting for the ruler of the lady to return us home. We're training these 7. Kurama said while pointing his thumb behind to the pseudo Jinchuriki. "In the future, I want them to be able to summon animals. You think maybe you contact the other 8 villages so when they may be ready to start summoning." "Of course. Anything for you, Lord Kurama. The Tanuki village may be a little uneasy, but I'll try. As for you, young lady, we have much to talk about," Natsume said as she pulled the young fox's ears. "Ow, ow, oh," said the young fox as she was whining. Natsume waved as she and Chizuru teleported away. "They seem pretty fun," said Pinkie Pie. Everyone looked at her but shrugged it off. "Now before we get this done, you all remembered I gave you my chakra right and Kurama gave his chakra to you, Spike?" Kokuou asked the pseudo Jinchuriki. "Yeah?" said the pseudo Jinchuriki. "Ever since you started, we've noticed that you haven't channeled any Biju chakra. So, it's obvious that you finally have your own chakra as well as Biju chakra. Which means, you have the ability to access Jinchuriki transformations." "Jinchuriki transformations?" Rainbow Dash asked. "Man, you are clueless," Seiken said to the Cyan Pegasus, which made her give a glare to the slug. Jinchuriki transformations are when a Jinchuriki uses his or her Biju's chakra to form a shroud that resembles their tailed beast. "Wait, didn't you do that when first met all of you?" said Twilight. "Exactly. Initial form is just releasing a bit of the chakra, version 1 is forming a shroud around your body, and version 2 is encasing the whole shroud around your body. Partial transformations is forming a part of the tailed beast. The chakra mode, like you saw with Naruto before, is a form is when the Jinchuriki beats their tailed beast in battle," Jayuki said to them. "However, pseudo Jinchuriki can only go up to version 2, but you can possibly achieve the chakra mode if you conquer the darkness in your heart," said Ginkaku. "Since me and Kokuou are the only ones to have pseudo Jinchuriki, we and our Jinchuriki will train with all of you personally," said Kurama. But what about our jutsu training? Asked Spike. Once you control our chakra, you're free to do whatever training you want, said Kurama. Now follow us. Team Foxes and Team Dolphin Horses went to another area to begin Biju chakra. Be prepared. For the next 5 days, we're going to drill the 7 of you into the ground hard. It will be gruesome. They all gulped. 5 days later 7 o'clock a.m. The pseudo Jinchuriki were exhausted after that training. Their clothes were shredded and were injured. They trained almost non-stop for 5 days, and they finally finished. They learned the basics of Jinchuriki transformations and their respective Biju skills. They just need to focus on the tailed beast ball. Good job. All of you, said Kinkaku. You've learned how to draw on normal and Biju chakra at will. So, we have no more to teach you, said Naruto. What? Said the pseudo Jinchuriki. We've showed you the basics, so it's up to all of you to do your training, said Kokuou. But you've gotten us this far. Why stop? Said Twilight. Because, we can't treat you like your children. It's up to you and you only. If you don't want to do any more from this point on, that's fine by us. If you want to have a little spar to increase your powers, ask. Remember, it's your responsibility. They then leave the pseudo Jinchuriki to themselves. Just like your master, Naruto, said Kurama. Yes, I am. But the 7 of them can do it. Naruto was right about that. Rather than just slack off, they decide to train a bit more. Spike got up, followed by the main 6. They were going to finish this training and help each other with their adventures. Naruto shipped an ending theme Gentle Rainbow. Team Foxes, Tanukas, and Dolphin Horses alongside Twilight and Spike were helping Applejack bring in some apples. Spike was in the cart with the apples. No. Nope. Nope, Spike said while checking through the apples. I thank you guys kindly for helping me out. I bet Big Macintosh I could get all these golden delicious in the barn by lunchtime. If I win, he's gonna walk down Stirrup Street in one of Granny's girdles, said Applejack. Big Macintosh in a girdle. Haha. That I will pay to see, said Shukaku as he was rubbing his hands. What will happen if you lose? Asked Kokuou. Applejack froze a little. Maybe I shouldn't tell you, said Applejack. No problem at all, Applejack. I'm glad the goal is lunchtime. All this hard work is making me hungry, said Twilight. I know, right, said Spike. The others gave him a mean stare. Spike, you've been in that cart while we worked. You're about as lazy as Shukaku over here, said Kurama. Shukaku ignored him. Kurama, you butthole. One day, I'll get ya, said Shukaku. Exactly. You guys are taking so long, I missed snack time, said Spike. All of their stomachs growled. Hey, I guess we better get some food, said Twilight while laughing nervously. Nope. Worm. Ha, said Spike as he went through more apples until he came upon a good-looking apple. Oh Spike, that looks delicious, said Twilight. Alright, Kurama said as he licked his lips. Spike then devoured that apple. Spike. What? Spike questioned the kitsune. Suddenly, he burped out a scroll which was then retrieved by Ginkaku. That is one weird skill, my friend, said Han as he did not notice Spike do this before. It's a letter from Princess Celestia, said Twilight. What does it say? Asked Kokuou. Ginkaku clears his voice. Hear ye. Her Grand Royal Highness, Princess Celestia of Equestria, is pleased to announce the Grand Galloping Gala to be held in the magnificent capital city of Canterlot on the 21st day of a yada yada yada, cordially extends an invitation to Twilight Sparkle +1 guest, said Ginkaku as he read the invitation. Applejack and Twilight both gasped. The Grand Galloping Gala, shouted the 2 females. Naruto theme songo. Episode title. The Ticket Master. The Grand Galloping Gala, said the 2 females as they cheered and danced. The guys just stood there with solemn faces, not even cheering with them. Woohoo, said Applejack. Spike sticked out his tongue like he was gagging, but he then burped out 2 tickets. Look, 2 tickets, said Spike. Wow, great. I've never been to the gala. Have you, Spike? Said Twilight. No, and I plan to keep it that way. I don't want any of that girly frilly frou-frou nonsense, said Spike. Hold up. What's this Grand Galloping Gala? Asked Shukaku. It's a royal party held in Canterlot every year in Canterlot. It's where a bunch of ponies come to attend and only the most famous are ever invited, said Twilight. Naruto did hear that Canterlot has a lot of rich folks. He was about to answer, but Ginkaku beat him to the punch. So basically, this is a party mostly for the rich folks, Ginkaku said blankly. Well, yes. Besides, a dance would be nice. Nice? It's a heap good more than just nice. I'd love to go, said Applejack. Applejack's vision. Land sakes, if I had an apple stand set up, ponies would be chowing our tasty victuals till the cows came home. Do you have any idea how much business I could drum up for Sweet Apple Acres? Why, with all that money, we could do a heap of fixin' up round here. We could replace that saggy old roof, and Big Macintosh could replace that saggy old plow, and Granny Smith could replace that saggy old hip. Applejack said as in her mind, you see many ponies lined up, then her barn is fixed, Big Macintosh's plow is fixed, and Granny Smith's hip is fixed. Then vision. Why, I'd give my left leg to go to that gala, said Applejack. Fixing a old lady's hip. In this world. Seems impossible. Thought Kurama. Oh, well in that case, would you like to, said Twilight until a certain Pegasus crashes onto Twilight full throttle. Ugh. Are we talking about the Grand Galloping Gala? Said Rainbow Dash as she got up. Rainbow Dash, you told me you were too busy to help me harvest apples. What were you busy doing, spying? Said Applejack. No, I was busy napping, and I just happened to hear that you have an extra ticket, said Rainbow Dash. Lazy? Said Shukaku. Yeah, but said Twilight until she was cut off. Yes. This is so awesome. The Wanderbolts perform at the Grand Galloping Gala every year. I can see it now, said Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash's vision. A rally is taking place with the Wanderbolts watching. Everyone would be watching the sky. Their eyes riveted on the Wanderbolts, but then in would fly Rainbow Dash, said Rainbow Dash. The audience gasps by the Pegasus's appearance. I would draw their attention with my super speed strut. Rainbow Dash performs an awesome performance. The audience cheers for the performance. Then, I would mesmerize them with my fantastic Philly flash. And for my grand finale, the Buccaneer Blaze. The Wanderbolts' mouths drop after seeing the Buccaneer Blaze. The ponies would go wild. Sure enough, the audience did go nuts for this performance. The Wanderbolts would insist that my signature moves be incorporated into their routine and then welcome me as their newest member. Finally, the Wanderbolts put her in as a Wanderbolt. And vision. Don't you see, Twilight? This could be my one chance to show 'em my stuff. You gotta take me, said Rainbow Dash. Hold on just one pony pickin' minute here. I asked for that ticket first, said Applejack. So? That doesn't mean you own it, said Rainbow Dash as she and Applejack were face to face. Oh, yeah? Well, I challenge you to a hoof wrestle. Winner gets the ticket, said Applejack. They both try to hoof wrestle even though they have hands, but Twilight stops this contest. Girls, these are my tickets, I'll decide who gets it, thank you very much. Whoever has the best reason to go should get the ticket, don't you think? Said Twilight. Drumming up business for the farm, said Applejack. A chance to audition for the Wanderbolts, said Rainbow Dash. Money to fix Granny's hip. Living the dream. Oh my, those were all pretty good reasons, aren't they? Said Twilight. Her stomach growls too. Listen to that, I am starving. I don't know about you, but I can't make important decisions on an empty stomach, so I'll, think about it over lunch and get back to you too, okay? Twilight darts towards Ponyville. Yeah, we'll go too. Can't think on an empty stomach. Catch you guys later, okay? Said Kurama as he and the rest of the guys flee from the conflict. Okay. Said the two tomboy ponies. They looked at each other and continue their hoof wrestle. Ponyville. The rest of the team minus Pinkie Pie, Fluttershy, Rarity and the Jinchuriki were walking through the town. So, I'm walking down Stirrup Street, alright, and suddenly I see Big Macintosh wearing a girdle. I take out my eyes, rub them, and put them back on my head to make sure I wasn't hit by a Sobu's Mr. Anything. And sure enough, it was real. I had to run back to the house so I didn't laugh out loud. Seiken said as he explained what happened a little while ago. If you watched SpongeBob, Mr. Krabs did this before where he took out his eyes, rubbed them, and inserted them back in place. My gosh, why would he do something so embarrassing? Asked Matatabi. Who knows? Maybe, Applejack put him up to it or something. They then see the others come. So, who you gonna give the ticket to, Twilight? Said Spike. Ticket to what? Asked Isobu. The Grand Galloping Gala. Event where some of the most important people attend and blah blah blah, said Shukaku. Ugh, who would want to go to some event with a bunch of snobs? Said Jayuki. But seriously, who are you going to invite? Asked the Ushioni. I don't know, Jayuki, but I really can't think straight when I'm hungry, said Twilight. Alright, let's go grab some grub. Where do you want to eat? Before they could answer, Pinkie Pie crashes into Twilight and Spike. Ah! Bats. Bats on my face. Help. Said Pinkie Pie as she was overreacting about the tickets on her face, thinking that they are bats, but she calms down long enough to see what they really are. Wait, these aren't tickets to the Grand Galloping Gala. It's the most amazing, incredible, tremendous, super fun, wonderful, terrifically humongous party in all of Equestria. I've always wanted to go. Ah, not another song, thought Shukaku. Pinkie Pie. Oh, the Grand Galloping Gala is the best place for me. Oh, the Grand Galloping Gala is the best place for me. Hip hip. Hooray. It's the best place for me. For Pinkie Pie. With decorations like streamers and fairy lights and pinwheels and pinatas and pin cushions. With goodies like sugar cubes and sugar canes and sundaes and sunbeams and sarsaparilla. And I get to play my favorite-est of favorite fantabulous games like pin the tail on the pony. Pinkie Pie. Oh, the Grand Galloping Gala is the best place for me. Oh, the Grand Galloping Gala is the best place for me. Cause it's the most galarific super light terrific gala ever. In the whole galaxy. Oh, thank you Twilight, it's the most wonderful-est gift ever. Said Pinkie Pie. Actually said Twilight until they hear a gasp. Are these what I think they are? Asked Rarity. Eyes, I'm seeing a pattern here. Said Kokuou. Yeah, we see it too. Said Han. Said Twilight. Yes. Twilight's taking me to the Grand Galloping Gala in Canterlot. Said Pinkie Pie. The gala. I design ensembles for the gala every year, but I've never had the opportunity to attend. Said Rarity. Great, more rambling. Said Kurama. Oh, the society, the culture, the glamour. It's where I truly belong and where I'm destined to meet him. Him. Said Pinkie Pie as if she knew whom Rarity was speaking about. Who? Him. Said Rarity. Rarity's vision. In Canterlot, the rich folks are in the ballroom talking when they suddenly see Rarity with a dress walk in. I would stroll through the gala and everyone would wonder, who is that mysterious mare? They would never guess that I was just a simple pony from little old Ponyville. Why, I would cause such a sensation that I would be invited for an audience with Princess Celestia herself, and the princess would be so taken with the style and elegance that she would introduce me to him, her nephew. The most handsome eligible unicorn stallion in Canterlot. You then see a handsome stallion looking at Rarity. Our eyes would meet, our hearts would melt. Our courtship would be magnificent. He would ask for my hoof in marriage, and of course I would say yes. We would have a royal wedding, befitting a princess, which is giggles what I would become upon marrying him, the stallion of my dreams. And vision. Twilight, I simply cannot believe you would invite Pinkie Pie so she can party and prevent me from meeting my true could you? HMPH. Said Rarity as she seems disappointed by Twilight's decision, even though Twilight did not invite anyone yet. While the others are seeing this scene unfold, Angel, who is one of Fluttershy's bunnies, took the tickets from Spike. Hey. Said Spike as he was surprised by the bunny's actions. Angel showed them to Fluttershy, who replies with a small gasp. Angel, these are perfect. Said Fluttershy. Listen guys, I haven't decided who to give the extra ticket to. Said Twilight. You haven't? Said Rarity and Pinkie Pie. Of course not. She just got them and hasn't decided yet. Said Naruto. Excuse me, Twilight. I would just like to ask, if it would be alright if you haven't given it to someone else, said Fluttershy until being rudely cut off by Rarity. You want to go to the gala? Said Rarity. Oh, no. Yes, or actually, kind of. Said Fluttershy. Cue dream sequence please. Shukaku said to the author of this story. Fluttershy's vision. You see, it's not so much the Grand Galloping Gala as it is the wondrous private gated garden that surrounds the dance. The garden shows a huge variety of wildlife. The flowers are said to be the most beautiful and fragrant in all of Equestria. For the night of the gala, and that night alone, would they all be in bloom, and that's just the flora. Don't get me started on the fauna. Then you see a lot of animals. There's loons and toucans and bitterns, oh my. Hummingbirds that can really hum, and buzzards that can really buzz. White blue jays, and red jays, and green jays, pink jays and pink flamingos. And vision. Gee, Fluttershy, it sounds beautiful. Said Twilight. Wait just a minute. Said Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash, were you following us? Twilight asked in a more nervous tone. Were you? Said Chame. No. Yes. Maybe. Look, it doesn't matter. I couldn't risk a goody four shoes like Twilight giving that ticket away to just anybody. Said Rainbow Dash. Wait just another minute. Said Applejack as she entered the scene. Applejack, you're trying to pull the same crap as Rainbow Dash? Shukaku asked the farmer. No. I was following this one to make sure she didn't try any funny business. Still trying to take my ticket. Said Applejack. Your ticket? Said Twilight. But Twilight's taking me. Said Pinkie Pie. The rest of the main six keep arguing and Matatabi's reply is. Whiskers? Said Matatabi. Naruto and Twilight are seen surrounded by the main five like on some kind of chart, so Kurama shouts with his loud voice. Wheat! Shouted Kurama. And then I said, oatmeal, are you cross? Pinkie Pie said as she was rambling on some random stuff until she sees the others look at her. Oh. Girls, this is getting way out of hand. Princess Celestia gave her the tickets, so she gets the final say on who she's invites. He's right. Twilight's stomach then growls louder than before. And I certainly can't think on an empty stomach. Now go on, shoo. The main five then go their separate directions while mumbling under their breaths. And don't worry, I'll figure this out somehow. Said Twilight. Kokuou, Naruto, Spike, take Twilight and get her something to eat. The next thing we need is an all-out war trying to get that ticket. Said Kurama. Where are you going? Asked Kokuou. We're going to finish up the house. We'll meet you later. Said Kurama. Han, Gaara, Ginkaku, and the rest of the Biju use the body flicker and head back to the house. The restaurant. Naruto, Spike, Kokuou, and Twilight were at the outside of the restaurant. Since they sell stuff only ponies would eat like flowers or grass, Naruto turned himself into his pony form so he could eat it better, theoretically that is the case. As they sit at the table, Twilight sighs while she has her head on the table. Eyes, what am I gonna do? All 5 of my best friends have really good reasons to go to the gala. Applejack or Rainbow Dash. Pinkie Pie or Fluttershy, Rarity who should go with me? Said Twilight. Her stomach rumbles so she eats the flower petals from the table. Have you made your decision? Asked the waiter that seemingly had a French accent. I can't decide. Twilight shouts out which draws the attention of a few others. Twilight, he just wants to take your order. Spike said to her while pointing at the menu. Oh. I would love a daffodil and daisy sandwich. Said Twilight. We'll both have the same thing she's having. Said Naruto. Do you have any rupees? No. Asked Spike. Obviously the answer is no. Okay. I'll have the hay fries, extra crispy. What do you think, guys? Asked Twilight. I think we have to try another restaurant. I mean, I like grass just fine, but would it hurt anybody to offer some gemstones? Said Spike. I mean about the gala and the ticket and who I should take. Said Twilight. Twilight, you're still thinking about that? Said Naruto. Eyes, listen. How do I choose? And when I do choose, will the other 4 be mad at me? I mean, I could give up my ticket and give away 2, but that would still leave 3 disappointed ponies. Said Twilight as you see an animation of the ponies' reaction should Twilight choose someone other than them. What if before she could finish, the waiter brings their food? Ah, your food. Said the waiter. As they get the food, Naruto looks a little nervous. He bites into the sandwich and finds it delicious though that may be because he's a pony now. Oh thank you. This looks so good. I'm sure everything will be much clearer once I eat. Said Twilight. As Twilight grabs the sandwich, the other ponies gallop inside the restaurant. Hey? Said Kokuou. Madam. Are you and friends going to eat your food in the rain? Said the waiter. It's not raining. As if bad luck, it rains but not on Naruto and the others right beside him. What's going on? Said Twilight. That's what I want to know. Said Naruto. Hi, they're best friends forever I've ever had. Enjoying the sunny weather? Said Rainbow Dash as she was acting innocently. There was a hole in the clouds so that's why they weren't rained on. Rainbow Dash, what are you doing? Twilight asked the Pegasus, obviously annoyed by Rainbow's actions. What do you mean? I just saw the smartest, most generous pony about to get rained on, so I thought I'd kick a hole in the clouds to keep her and the rest of you dry so she could dine in peace, that's all. Rainbow, you're not trying to get extra consideration for the extra ticket by doing me extra special favors, are you? Me? No, of course not. You Seriously, I'd do it for any pony. Said Rainbow Dash. What about them? Naruto said as he points to other ponies who were soaking in the rain. Eh. Rainbow Dash giggled nervously. Taking this opportunity, the guys finished their meal. Rainbow, I am not comfortable accepting unwanted favors, so I'd appreciate it if you close up that rain cloud right now. Said Twilight. Ugh, fine. Rainbow Dash then zipped up the hole in the cloud. That's better. Twilight was about to enjoy the sandwich, but the rain got harder and doused her and the sandwich. She grinned in anger while Naruto and Spike snickered in enjoyment. Twilight, it's raining. Said Rarity who had on a coat. No, really. Twilight replied in a sarcastic tone. Come with me before you catch a cold. Rarity said as she grabbed Twilight and headed to Carousel Boutique. Naruto then sighed. Oh boy. Guys, let's go follow them before something bad happens. Said Naruto. Kokuou and Spike nodded and followed the 2 pseudo Jinchuriki. Jinchuriki and Biju's home. As the rain poured outside, the team were painting the walls and bringing in furniture, except for Killer Bee who growled because of the rapper's disappearance. Ah, I can't believe that idiot. The next time I see B, I'm going to break those sunglasses of his. Fu said, shaking her sunglasses. Killer B came through the door. B, where were you? Sorry if I'm late. But do you all know Vinyl Scratch? Asked B. We don't know her personally, but we know she's a famous DJ. What about her? Said Kurama. Well, she heard me making some good raps so she talked to me. After I went to her studio, she saw how great I was so she hired me as backup during her performances. No way, that's awesome. Good job B, said Jayuki. There was something bothering B. Hey guys, the girls have been acting strange lately. Something going on? You have no idea, B, said Kinkaku. Meanwhile, Carousel Boutique. Inside the beauty shop, Twilight, Kokuou, and Naruto shake the water off their bodies. Twilight then noticed that she shook her water on Rarity. Heh, oops, sorry. Said Twilight as she sees a doused Rarity with a solemn look on her face. Oh no, it's quite alright. Said Rarity as her expression changed. After all, we are the best of friends, are we not? And you know what the best of friends do? Said Twilight. Makeovers? Said Rarity. Rarity took Twilight behind a cover and you could hear some commotion going on back there. There. Oh, you're simply darling. Said Rarity as it is revealed she put a dress on Twilight. Yeah, it is kinda pretty, isn't it, said Twilight. Spike made a look of disgust, but his fist accidentally went into his mouth just as Rarity came over. And you? Oh Spike, I have a dandy little outfit for the dashing gent. Said Rarity. Uh-oh. Said Spike as he tried to flee, but Rarity caught the dragon and brought him behind the curtain. Ow, oh, hey, wow, watch it, whoa. After the cover went away, Spike was dressed up in an outfit like he was from the 1700s. Whoa. Said Naruto as he was shocked by Spike's appearance. Now you just need a hat. Said Rarity as she put a hat on Spike. Ugh, I told you, I don't want any part of this girly gala gunk, see you back at the library. Said Spike as he darted out of the shop. We'll be outside. Said Kokuou as he and Naruto went outside. Rarity laughed as they left. Oh, who needs them anyway? This is all about you and how fabulous you look at the Grand Galloping Gala. Said Rarity. While looking at herself in the mirror, Twilight then stopped as she heard the last statement. Even Naruto and Kokuou somehow heard that even if they were outside. Wait, the grand before the sentence was done, Rarity came right by Twilight. And oh, my goodness, what a coincidence. I happen to have an ensemble of my own that matches yours to a T. We would be the belles of the ball, you and I. Everyone would be clamoring for our attention. All eyes would be on us, and then everyone would finally know, the most beautiful, most talented, most sophisticated pony in all of Equestria is Rarity the unicorn. Ah. Rarity then made a nervous laugh. And Twilight sparkle, of course. I see what's going on. You're just buttering me up so I give you the extra ticket. Well, it's not gonna work. You're going to have to wait for my decision just like everyone else. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've been trying all day just to get some lunch. Said Twilight as she took off the dress while she still had on her clothes. Before Twilight could even talk to Naruto and Kokuou, Applejack was right in front of her. Did some pony say lunch? Said Applejack. You've got to be kidding me. Said Twilight. Applejack had a huge cart of products. I got apple pie, apple fritters, apple tarts, apple dumplings, apple crisps, apple crumblers, and apple brown Betty. The dessert, not my auntie. What do you say there, best friend? Said Applejack. Her stomach rumbled. Is that a yes? No. No. I don't know who I'm giving the ticket to, and all these favors aren't making it any easier to decide. In fact, I'm less sure now than I was this morning. Ugh. Said Twilight. Naruto and Kokuou snatched her. Don't worry. We'll get her some food and maybe she'll figure out who she'll invite. Said Naruto as he and Kokuou darted with Twilight in tow. After they got far away enough, they set her down. Darn it. I'm so hungry. Said Twilight as her stomach grumbled. Hey, how about I fix up some ramen? That'll set your mind straight. Said Naruto. Thanks, Naruto. Said Twilight. After she got up, the rest of the team as well as Spike were bend them. We'll help. Said Shukaku. As they went to the library, they went inside and encountered Fluttershy who was cleaning up the library alongside Angel. Oh come on. Fluttershy, not you too. Said Son Goku. Oh, well, hello Twilight. I hope you don't mind, but we're all doing a little spring cleaning for you. Said Fluttershy. It's summer, not spring. Said Yugura. Oh, well, better late than never, right? It was Angel's idea. Liar. Said the male Biju. You're not doing this for the ticket, are you? Said Twilight. Oh no, I'm doing this because you're my very best friend. Right Angel? Said Fluttershy. Angel frowned. Oh, yes, we are just doing this for the ticket. Ugh. It was nice of you two to help Twilight but no extra favors. Said Matatabi. As Fluttershy and Angel left, a bunch of ponies said. Surprise. Shouted a bunch of ponies. Pinkie Pie. Twilight is my bestest friend. Whoopee, whoopee. Pinkie said Twilight. Pinkie Pie. She's the cutest, smartest, all-around best pony. Pinkie. Pinkie Pie. I bet if I throw a super-duper fun party. Pinkie. Pinkie Pie. She'll give her extra ticket to the gala to me. Pinkie, said Twilight. Kurama held his breath in and shouted. Pinkie, shouted Kurama. This made all of the ponies stop. Yes, Kurama, said Pinkie Pie. At least the other ponies tried to be subtle about the ticket, said Twilight. Wait, what ticket? What gala? Said Drizzle. Oh, you didn't know. Twilight has an extra ticket to the Grand Galloping Gala, said Pinkie Pie. The Grand Galloping Gala, said the ponies. Oh bleep, why did you have to say that? Said Shukaku. Soon, all of them start asking to do favors just so they can get the extra ticket. What are we gonna do? Said Spike. All of the tailed beasts, Jinchuriki, Twilight and Spike were cornered. We're gonna run, said Twilight. All of them dart with the ponies in pursuit. The team were getting away. They disguised themselves as common people as the pursuers passed by. As their disguises dropped, one pony turned around and saw them. The team ran away again, and this time they were either under the bridge or in the water. They kept running and running until they were trapped in an alleyway. We're trapped, said Isobu. As the ponies kept getting closer, Twilight tried using her magic to teleport, but at the same time, Naruto felt a bit stressed out, so for some reason, Naruto's hand glowed orange and teleported all of them, leaving the citizens confused. Jinchuriki and Biju's house. All of them teleported in the house. Some of them, most notably Spike, had some burns. Ugh, warn me next time you're gonna do that, said Spike. I didn't even know it was gonna happen. I thought I didn't have enough magic to teleport all of us, said Twilight. Did I do that? Thought Naruto. Now quick, lock the doors, said Chame. All of them cover up the windows and lock the back and front doors to the house. They then turned out all of the lights. Phew, said Spike. Suddenly, the lights turned on to reveal the Applejack, Rainbow Dash, Pinkie Pie, Rarity, and Fluttershy, who all had sad looks. But their sudden appearance scares the others a little. Yarg. I can't decide, I just can't decide. It's important to all of you and I just can't stand to disappoint any of you, and giving me gifts and doing me favors won't make any difference because you're all my friends and I want to make you all happy and I just can't, said Twilight. Twilight, sugar, I didn't mean to put so much pressure on you, and if it helps, I don't want the ticket anymore. You can give it to some pony else. I won't feel bad, I promise, said Applejack. Me too. I feel just awful that I made you feel so awful, said Fluttershy. And me too. It's no fun upsetting your friends, said Pinkie Pie. Twilight, it was unfair of me to try to force you as I did, said Rarity. Yes. That means the ticket is mine. Ha ha, sing-song voice, I got the ticket, Rainbow Dash gloated until the others shot her a mean glare. You know, I haven't perfected my signature moves for the Wonderbolts anyway. I don't need that ticket either. We all got so gun-ho about going to the gala that we couldn't see how un-gun-ho we were making you, said Applejack. We're sorry, Twilight, said the 5 ponies. Well, all of you should be, said Shukaku. The response was a hit on the back of the head by Jayuki. Spike, take down a note. Dear Princess Celestia. I've learned that one of the joys of friendship is sharing your blessings, but when there's not enough blessings to go around, having more than your friends can make you feel pretty awful. So, though I appreciate the invitation, I will be returning both tickets to the Grand Galloping Gala, said Twilight. What? Said the main 5 in the team. If my friends can't all go, I don't want to go either. Twilight, you don't have to do that, said Applejack. Nope. I've made up my mind. Spike, you can send the letter now, said Twilight. Spike breathed his magic fire on the scroll and it disappeared. Now you won't get to go to the gala either, said Fluttershy. It's okay, girls. I couldn't possibly enjoy myself without my best friends there with me, so I would rather not go at all, said Twilight. This sentiment was a bit too much for the other guys, but Spike was the only one showing it out. Suddenly, Spike looked like he was going to vomit. Kirk, Spike grunted. What's wrong, Spike? Asked Kinkaku. Well, wallop my withers, Spike. Isn't that just like a boy? Can't handle the least bit of sentiment, said Applejack. Spike burped out a letter. Whoa, Nelly. The letter from the princess. That was fast, said Twilight. My faithful student Twilight. Why didn't you just say so in the first place? Spike said as he read the letter. What? We got jazzed by a mob, and these 5 here practically fought each other for that extra ticket, and all you could have done was ask the princess if you could bring more friends with you? Son Goku said as steam came out of his nostrils. Sorry. I was starving, said Twilight. Twilight was lucky that Gyuki and Kurama were there because Son Goku would have went ape on the unicorn. And look, 10 tickets to the Grand Galloping Gala. The ponies gasp. Wait, 10 tickets? Said Gyuki. Now we can all go. Said Twilight. Her stomach rumbles louder than ever, which makes her laugh. Allow us to treat you to dinner. Said Rarity. As all of the girls left with tickets and headed to Sugar Cube Corner, the guys realize who the extra 4 tickets were for. Wait a minute. Those 4 tickets were for Matatabi, Yujito, Fu, and Choumei. Said Kokuou. How come we don't get a ticket to the gala? Said Spike. All of the guys looked a bit sad. It would have been nice to go. Said Naruto. Suddenly, Spike spits out 17 tickets. And tickets for the guys. Spike said as he read the letter that came with the tickets. Alright. Said the guys as they could also come. The girls then heard what they said. I mean, gross, we have to go too. Said Kinkaku. The girls then giggled. The guys then went after them while blushing slightly. Naruto shipped an ending theme Gentle Rainbow. Amak Applejack and Big Mac's bet. At Sugar Cube Corner, the team were eating cupcakes. Man, I'm stuffed. Said Kinkaku. You said it. Said Shukaku as he patted his stomach. Suddenly, Big Macintosh came and not wearing the girdle. Hey Big Mac. Finally got that girdle off. Yep. Said Big Mac. Hey Big Macintosh, I need to ask a question. Asked Naruto. What would have happened should you have won the bet? You really want to know? The guys nodded, but Applejack got nervous. Big Macintosh put on a sly grin. I told Applejack she has to kiss Kokuou on the mouth in front of every pony. She has to do what? Said the guys. Applejack blushed heavily. Oh. Dude, no wonder Applejack wanted us to help her this morning. Shukaku said as he slightly nudged his elbow at Kokuou. Kokuou just left the shop not saying a word. Wait. Kokuou. Said Applejack as she went after the dolphin horse. Haha. Said the guys. Sweet apple acres. Boy howdy. I got my work cut out for me. But there is the biggest bumper crop o' apples I ever laid eyes on. Applejack as he and Big Macintosh look over the fields. Big Macintosh had a hurt arm so he couldn't work. Yep. Too big for you to handle on your own. Said Big Macintosh. Come on, big brother. You need to rest up and get yourself better. I haven't met an apple orchard yet that I can't handle. Oops, sorry. I'll take a bite out of this job by day's end. Said Applejack. Biting off more than you can chew is just what I'm afraid of. Are you saying my mouth is making promises my legs can't keep? Yep. Why of all this is your sister Applejack, remember? The loyalist of friends and the most dependable of ponies. But still only one pony, and one pony plus hundreds o' apple trees, just doesn't add up to. Don't you use your fancy mathematics to muddle the issue. I said I could handle this harvest and I'm gonna prove it to you. I'm gonna get every last apple out of those trees this applebuck season all by myself. Naruto theme songo. Episode title. Applebuck season. Well I better get kickin'. These apples aren't gonna shake themselves out of the trees. Said Applejack as she prepared to start, but something was shaking. Hey. Oh no. Stampede. Rainbow Dash shouted out. Stampede. Said all 9 Biju. The siblings see cows heading towards Ponyville while ponies go into a panic. In fact, some of them actually faint to the amusement of Shukaku. Hey, this makes my voice sound silly. Pinkie Pie said as the vibrations from the cows cause her to shake and her voice to sound weird. Pinkie Pie, are you crazy? Run. Said Twilight. Every pony calm down. There is no need to panic. Said Mayor Mare. We'll handle this. Naruto said to the crowd. Before the Jinchuriki could try to stop the stampede, Rainbow Dash shouts out. Look there. They all look to see Applejack and Winona on the hill. Hee-haw. Said Applejack. The two then herded to the stampede into a straight line. This is the best rodeo show I've ever seen. Pinkie Pie said as she had a box of popcorn. The Jinchuriki and Biju look at her with confusion. Shukaku then took some popcorn while watching. They saw Winona jump on the cow in the front and Applejack jumped onto another cow. What is she doing? Utakata asked. Applejack got a rope and made a lasso. She then threw the lasso around the head cow's neck. She then made it change direction, steering it away from town. The ponies in the town cheer for Applejack's success for steering the stampede away from the town. Kokuou decided to go check on Applejack. Kokuou, where are you going? Shukaku asked. Kokuou didn't answer as he went to search for Applejack. As he approached the cows, they took notice of him. Mr. Kokuou. Daisy Joe said. Alright, talk. Why did you guys just start a stampede? Kokuou asked in a polite yet serious voice. The cow then coughed. Oh my. Begging your pardon, Applejack and Kokuou, but Muriella here saw one of those nasty snakes. Said the cow. Her brethren then all make a startled noise. And it just gave us all the willies, don't you know? Kokuou facepalmed, but he could understand that snakes were scary. In fact, Han was scared of snakes when he was a child. We understand, but next time, steer clear of Ponyville. 10 mares passed out because of the excitement. Kokuou said as he laughed. We certainly will, Kokuou. So long, Applejack. You too, Winona. The cows then went back to the barn. As they left, the ponies in town cheer and start chanting Applejack's name. Bee-haw! Applejack shouted out. As Applejack and Winona left, Kokuou just smiled. The others then came. Kokuou, there you are, said Han. Why did you run off? Matatabi asked. Kokuou then got a little nervous. Nowhere. Just went to check on Applejack, said Kokuou. They didn't buy it, but they set it aside. So, what's going on? We're going to throw a party for Applejack for stopping the stampede, Pinkie Pie said. Hey, speaking of the stampede, what happened to get them spooked? Kinkaku asked. Snake spooked them, Kokuou said as he walked back to town. Snake, said the team. They followed after the dolphin horse. Hey Han, remember when Urashi said until Han cut him off? Don't talk about it, Han said as he walked. 2 days later, Jinchuriki and Biju's house. The house was looking better and better by the minute. Somehow, they got enough money to purchase furniture and plumbing. Hey guys, have you seen Applejack? Kokuou asked the team. No. But we might find her at the party, Jiamei said. Then let's go, Naruto said. The party. They now headed out for the party in town. The party was set up. Now they had to wait for Applejack to arrive. Welcome every pony. Today we are here to honor a pony we can always count on to help in matters great and small. A pony whose contributions to Twilight said until she got pushed aside by Rainbow Dash. Did you see Applejack's slick moves out there? What an athlete. This week she's gonna help me with my new flying trick and I know it's gonna be so awesome, Rainbow Dash said. Exactly. And Twilight said until she gets interrupted again, this time by Pinkie Pie. This week, I get to run Sugar Cube Corner for the first time, Pinkie Pie said. What does that have to do with Applejack? Twilight asked. Oh. Applejack, one of the best bakers ever, is gonna help me. Applejack makes everything great, so free samples for every pony, said Pinkie Pie. The ponies cheer. Twilight, please continue, said Yagura. Okay, that's great. Now if I could just make a point without being said Twilight until Fluttershy speaks up. Twilight. Erupted. The tailed beasts and Jinchuriki could see Twilight is losing patience. Twilight, I'm so sorry, but I just wanted to mention that Applejack is also helping me this week with the official bunny census, where we count up all the new baby bunnies that were born this season. She's gonna help gather them using her wonderful herding skills, Fluttershy said. Anyone else? Anyone? No. Well then, as I was trying to say, Twilight said until she sees that the mayor wants to say something. Erg. Never mind, Twilight said as she stepped away from the podium. Ahem. And so, with no further ado, it is my privilege to give the prize, Pony of Ponyville Award, to our beloved guest of honor, a pony of the utmost trustworthiness, reliability, and integrity. Ponyville's most capable and dependable friend, Applejack. The crowd then cheers, but as the curtains give way you see a tired Applejack. Awkward, said Shukaku. I'm here. Yonsai, sorry I'm late. Whoa, I was just whoa, did I get your tail? Miss Mayor. Thank you kindly for this here award, Thingy. Yawn, it's so bright and shiny and, I sure do look funny heh. Applejack said as she saw her reflection on the trophy the town made for her. Okay. Well, thank you Applejack for saving us from that scary stampede and always being there for every pony, said Twilight. Yeah. I like helping the pony folks and yawn and stuff. Snore, yeah. Thanks. Applejack then dragged the trophy and you could hear the sounds of metal being dragged across the ground. Hey guys, did Applejack seem a little said Saken? Tired? Rainbow Dash said. Busy? Fluttershy said. Messy? Rady said, which brought stares from the team. Well, did you see her mane? Shukaku and Kurama rolled their eyes. No, something's up and I'm going to find out, said Kokuou. Sweet apple acres. Applejack is harvesting apples but seems quite tired. What on earth is that pony doing? Kokuou said as he and the Biju were watching from a distance. Hey Applejack. Kokuou said to no avail as the earth pony was asleep. Applejack. Son Goku. This didn't work so Shukaku got a bullhorn. Applejack. Shukaku shouted in the bullhorn. This stirred the earth pony awake. Oh, howdy guys. What is all this? Kurama asked. It's Applebuck season, said Applejack. Applewhat season? Saken asked. Nah, it's what the apple family calls harvestin' time. We gather all the apples from the trees so we can sell them. But why are you doing it by yourself? Madatabi asked. Oz Big Macintosh hurt himself. What about all those relatives I've met when I first came to Ponyville? Can't they help? Kokuou asked. Applejack then let out a sigh. They were just here for the Apple family reunion. They actually live all over Equestria and are busy harvesting their own orchards. So, I'm on my own. Which means I should really get back to work. Ahem hint hint. Get back to work. Fine. Could you step aside, Kokuou? Applejack asked. I just did. Applejack, are you sure you're okay? Hey, don't any of you three worry none, I'm just fine and dandy. Applejack then almost fell over. Whoa. Kurama stopped her from falling. Do you want some help? Isobu asked. Help? No way, no how. But there's no way you can do it all on your own. It's impossible. Chame said. Is that a challenge? No. Well, I'm gonna prove to you that I can do it. Now if you'll excuse me, I've got apples to buck. The Biju shook their heads and walked off. Later. Rainbow Dash is waiting impatiently for Applejack when she finally sees Applejack arrive. There you are. Rainbow Dash said to the Earth Pony. Applejack then yawned. I'm a mite sorry Rainbow. I was busy applebucking and I guess I closed my eyes for a second and, when I woke up, I was late. Now, what's this new trick of yours? Applejack asked. See this contraption? Rainbow Dash said. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna stand on one end, then you're gonna jump down from that platform, launching me into the air faster than I can take off on my own. Once I'm in the air, I'm gonna do some amazing flips and spins that are sure to impress the Wonderbolts. Isn't that a mite dangerous? PFFT, not for a pony who can fly. Well, alrighty then. As Applejack got to the top of the ladder, she got a little dizzy seeing the ground from being up so high, but that may be because she was tired from applebucking. Oh my. Ready? 1 2 3. Applejack fell and missed the end of the catapult by a long shot. Maybe I wasn't clear. You're supposed to land on the other end. Got it. She fell 3 more times, all attempts missing the catapult. Applejack, what the hey is going on? I mean, I thought I was working with Ponyville's best athlete. You are. I'm okay. Really. I have an idea. Watch this. Applejack pushes her side of the catapult, making Rainbow Dash's side go up in the air. Ta-da. Rainbow Dash was not happy. Oh maybe not. Okay, one more try. I'm sure to get it this time. Applejack let it go and caused Rainbow Dash's side to go back down, but Rainbow Dash was now lying on the catapult. Applejack went back to the top of the ladder. Haha here I go. Applejack said as she jumped but Rainbow Dash wasn't ready. Wait, Applejack. Rainbow Dash shouted as she was catapulted through the air. You're welcome. The library. Naruto and Twilight were on the balcony meditating and reading respectively. They then hear a scream. Naruto manifested one of Kurama's tails and caught Rainbow Dash before she hit the railing on the balcony. Rainbow Dash was now leaning over Kurama's tail like a towel over a rack. Can we help you? Twilight asked. I think some pony else needs your help. Rainbow Dash said. Sigh Applejack? Naruto asked. Yep. Sweet Apple Acres. As Applejack is bucking more trees, a branch falls onto her head. Ow. Applejack shouts. This makes her ears vibrate and hard to hear. Naruto and Twilight came up to her. Applejack, can we talk? Applejack, can we talk? Twilight said as her voice echoes in Applejack's ears. And bees quack I don't think so. Applejack said. No. Can we talk? Naruto said. 20 stalks. Bean or celery? No. We need to talk to you. Naruto said. You need to walk to the zoo? Well, who's stopping you? We need to talk to you. Twilight said. Oh. Well why didn't you say so? What you want to talk about? Rainbow Dash dropped in to see us today. Naruto said. That's quite neighborly of her. Yes, except that I had to cushion her impact by manifesting a tail after you launched her into the air. Oh, yeah. I wasn't feeling quite myself this morning. Because you're working too hard and you need help. What? Kelp. I don't need kelp. I don't even like seaweed. Help. You need help. Nothing doing, you two. I'm gonna prove to you, Teveripony, that I can do this on my own. Applejack then hit the broken branch. Ow. Now if you'll excuse me, I've gotta go help Pinkie Pie. Ugh. Twilight groaned. Don't worry, Twilight. She'll come through eventually. Naruto said. Sugar Cube Corner. Now Pinkie Pie, are you sure you're up for baking the muffins and running the store this afternoon? Mrs. Cake said. Yes Siri Bob, Mrs. Cake. Plus, I have Ponyville's prize pony to help me out. Why, she's the best baker ever. Right, Applejack. Pinkie Pie said. Applejack then shook her head. No. You're not the best baker ever. Mr. Cake asked. What? Oh no. I mean, don't you fret. I can bake anything from fritters to pies in the blink of an eye. Applejack said as she reaffirmed her status as one of the best bakers there is. Alright. Well, see you later, girls. Mrs. Cake said. Stop with the shakin', it's time to get baking. Pinkie Pie said. Alrighty. I'll get the sugar and the eggs. Can you get me some chocolate chips? Pinkie Pie said. Woo, what was that? Applejack asked as her ears were still ringing. Chocolate chips. Pinkie Pie said. Chips got it. Tater chips, a little salty and dry, okie dokie. Applejack then put in chips. What next? Baking soda. Pinkie Pie said. Soda. Perfect. That'll get the tater chips nice and wet. Applejack then poured in soda. Now what? The cup of flour. Pinkie Pie said. The cup o' sour. Well, lemons are sure sour. 1 cup o' sour, comin' up. Applejack then put in lemons. Anything else, Pinkie? One last thing. Wheat germ. Wheat worms. Oh, that must be fancy talk for earthworms. Applejack then went outside and got a bunch of worms. Now that's gonna be delicious. But what Pinkie Pie didn't know was that Applejack put in the wrong ingredients. If you say so. Applejack said as she looked at the awful mixture. 20 minutes later. Free muffin sample spectacular. Pinkie Pie announced. As ponies came, so did Ujito and Fu. Alright, muffins. Ujito said. Yeah. Muffin spectacles. Get 'em while they're hot. Applejack also said. 10 minutes later. We came as soon as we heard. Twilight said as she, Naruto, Han, Kokuou and Kurama arrive at the medical tents. Oh thank you all. We need all the help we can get. Nurse reitered. They saw a bunch of ponies sick. Ugh. Naruto. Fu said as her face as well as Ujito's were green. Fu, Ujito. What happened? Naruto asked his fellow Jinchuriki. It was a mishap with some of the baked goods. Nurse reitered. No, not baked goods, baked bads. Pinkie Pie said as she sat up for a moment and then rested. She looked like she was ready to puke. Only one word came to mind. Applejack. Twilight said. Spike and Kurama then bit into the cupcakes. Want one? Spike asked. Sweet apple acres. What? Huh? Applejack said as she was snoring while kicking the tree. She woke up but as she was pulling the cart, she went into a ditch and was hanging upside down. She was kicking in the air but couldn't get down. Applejack, we need to talk. Twilight said as she, Naruto, Han, Kurama and Kokuou were right by her. Wah, huh? Oh, it's you guys. She then yawned. I know what you're gonna say, but the answer is still no. Not to upset your apple cart, but you need help. Hardy har. And no I don't. Applejack said as she had trouble getting down. Here, let me help. Han said as he balanced the cart again. Help? No thanks. A little more little there. I'll prove that this apple can handle these apples. Come on grunt apples grunt fall off grunt. Applejack said as she kept bucking the tree. AJ, do you realize you're beating a dead tree? Naruto asked. I knew that. Actually Applejack, we have something else to talk to you about. We just came back from Ponyville urgent care and Kokuou said until he was interrupted. You know, I'm a little busy to get lectured right now, Kokuou. Applejack said. But if you'd just let us help. Ugh. No, no, no. How many times do I gotta say it? I don't need no help from no pony. Ugh. That pony is stubborn as a mule. Twilight said. They then hear a mule neigh. No offense dude. Kurama said to the mule. None taken. The mule said. The rabbit holes. Applejack and Winona then arrived at the holes to find Fluttershy waiting. Oh Applejack. Thank you so much for offering your herding skills for the annual rabbit roundup. Applejack said with joy. Ugh. Why are we doing this? Applejack asked. Well, lots of new baby bunnies have been born, so it's my job to get a count of all the new families. Fine. Can we just get on with it? Certainly, but remember, these are bunnies we're dealing with, not cows. They're a timid bunch and need to be treated gently. I do not need any direction on corralling critters. Right, Winona? Applejack asked her dog. Winona then barks. Okay, little bunnies. I need you to all gather here in the middle. That's right. Let's go, bunnies. In the center. Hop to it. Swell. Just swell. Put 'em up, Winona. Applejack said as she and Winona start corralling them, very harshly. Applejack. Winona. Stop. You're scaring them. Fluttershy said, but to no avail. We know what we're doing. Get along, little bunnies. Suddenly, the bunnies go into a panic and start to run off. Oh no. Fluttershy said. Vanille. Stampede. Rainbow Dash shouted out. But this time, it was rabbits, not cows. The ponies go into a panic and some faint just like last time. Later. The Jinchuriki, as well as Fu and Yujito who were released from the clinic, and the Biju were walking with Twilight when they suddenly see some of the ponies lying in the streets. Probably the ones in particular are the overly dramatic flower trio as Kinkaku calls them. Probably the most dramatic out of all of the mares in town. The horror, Rose said. It was awful. Lily Valley said. A disaster. A horrible disaster. Daisy finished off with an overly dramatic sentence. And, that disaster would be? Jayuki asked. Our gardens, destroyed. Lily said. Every last flower, devoured. Rose said. I buy them. Daisy said as the team sees the bunnies eat the flowers. Oh my. Oh please stop, little bunnies. Oh no. Please, let's go home. Oh my goodness. Fluttershy said, but everything she tried failed. After seeing this, Kokuou hit the side of a building much to the shock of his siblings. That's it. This has gone too far. Kokuou said as he went to Sweet Apple Acres with the team following right behind him. Sweet Apple Acres. Must gasp keep gasp buckin' just gasp if you gasp more. Must finish harvestin'. Applejack said as she was really tired. She then felt a hand on her shoulder. It was Kokuou with an obviously angry face. The rest of the team were behind him. Applejack, enough is enough. Your apple bucking has gone way too far. Because of it, you've launched Rainbow Dash through the air, poisoned many of the ponies in town, and scared multiple baby bunnies into causing a panic. Even if you have my chakra, you can't keep going on like this. I don't care what you say, you need help. Kokuou said. Applejack then looked around the fields. Ha. No, I don't. Look, I did it. I harvested the entire Sweet Apple Acres without your help. How'd I like them apples? Ahem. Shukaku said as he was leaning on a tree. How do you like them apples? Shukaku said as he pointed to the rest of the field which still have apples on them. By the looks of it, you only harvested a quarter of the entire field. Applejack then started mumbling and promptly passed out. Applejack? Twilight said. Applejack? Kokuou said. Applejack said as she woke up. Oh, good, you're okay. Applejack, I understand the tradition of the apple family. You always help everyone around you, but I want you to get over yourself and allow us to help. Please, as a friend I'm asking you. Kokuou said as he held onto Applejack's hand. Okay, Kokuou. Applejack said. And, we are not taking no for an answer wait, what? Kokuou said. Yes Kokuou. Yes, please. I could really use your help. Applejack said. Kokuou then got Applejack off the ground. Later. The team came and helped Applejack harvest the apples. Twilight Sparkle. Dear Princess Celestia. My friend Applejack is the best friend a pony could ever have and she's always there to help any pony. The only trouble is, when she needs help, she finds it hard to accept it, so while friendship is about giving of ourselves to friends, it's also about accepting what our friends have to offer. Your faithful student. Twilight Sparkle. How about y'all take a little break? I got some fine apple juice waitin' for ya, said Applejack. Thanks, said Shukaku. Everyone, I can't thank you enough for this help. I was acting a bit stubborn. Applejack said. A bit? Kinkaku said as he raised an eyebrow. Okay. A mite stubborn and I'm awful sorry. Now, I know the town gave me the prize pony award but the real award is having you all as my friends. Glad you learned your lesson. Kinkaku said. Phew. That apple bucking sure made me hungry. Rainbow Dash. And we got the perfect treat. Shukaku said as he and the male Biju and Spike brought out the bad cupcakes. You guys, I threw those all away. Where'd you get them? Pinkie Pie asked the Tanuki. From the trash. Said Shukaku. The females walk away while saying you while the males stay and laugh. Just a little nibble. Come on. Said Spike. The girls continue to say you and gross with the guys following right behind them. Naruto shipped an ending theme Gentle Rainbow. Mick. The wrong idea. Ratchet and Clank 2. Going commando OOZLA inside the store. As the team are walking, Seiken asks Kokuou a question. Hey Kokuou, you still haven't told us why you wanted to speak with Applejack after that stampede. Seiken asked Kokuou. I told you I was just making sure she was okay. Kokuou said. Are you sure about that? Shukaku asked. Yes. Come on guys, you asked me this like 10 times already. Come on Kokuou, you can tell me. Applejack said as she nudged his arm. Kokuou had enough of everyone asking him that question. I told ya, it was to make sure nothing was wrong. Kokuou said as he walked ahead of the group. Before he could get far, Shukaku spoke up. Really or maybe it was personal you had to talk with her. Shukaku said putting a lot of emphasis on personal. Kokuou stopped walking after Shukaku said that. Kokuou turned around to see the pony stop moving, while Applejack was blushing just like the other day when Big Macintosh revealed the whole truth about the bet. "Aren't you Kaku, why did you have to go and say that?" Kokuou said as he darted off. The girls then grinned. "Let's get him," Twilight said as she and the rest of the main six tried to catch the dolphin horse while giggling. "Wow. I bet he did not see that coming," Kurama said as he sees the main six chase after the dolphin horse. "Why me?" Kokuou said as he was running fast. Of biting action overload. She was like a stunt superstar, flying higher and higher, and then rainbow dash swoop down swoosh, and right before she hit the ground shoom she pulled up VRRRMMM, said Pinkie Pie as she was making some noises. Team Foxes were meditating while Twilight and Yujito were reading some books on the bench. "Yuhe," Twilight said, not paying any attention to Pinkie. And then she looped around and around like woo 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 woo. "Yuhe," said Yujito. As Pinkie Pie was lying on the ground, she saw Rainbow Dash fly overhead and went after her. "Phew. Rainbow Dash," said Pinkie Pie. Rainbow Dash grunts as she eyes Pinkie Pie following her. "Pinkie Pie. Not again," said Rainbow Dash as she flies faster. "Rainbow Dash. Not now, Pinkie Pie." Rainbow Dash goes faster. But Rainbow Dash. "I'm in the middle of something." Yo, Rainbow Dash," said Killer Bee. "I said not now," said Rainbow Dash until she crashes into the mountain. "Oh," said Team Foxes as they see Rainbow Dash slide down the mountain. "I was gonna tell you to look out for that mountain," said Pinkie Pie. Rainbow Dash then grumbles. Naruto theme songo. Episode title. Griffin the Brush-Off. Ponyville Plaza. Pinkie Pie is humming while walking through the plaza. Rainbow Dash, who was sleeping on a cloud above the plaza, heard the humming, so she put some of the cloud in her ear to block out the humming. "Hi, I'm looking for Rainbow Dash. Have you seen her?" said Pinkie Pie as she asked some ponies on the whereabouts of Rainbow Dash. As Pinkie Pie continued asking others, Rainbow Dash put her head into the cloud like an ostrich, but the rest of her body was shown. Pinkie Pie then came upon Twilight, Shukaku, and Killer Bee. "Hey guys, have you seen Rainbow Dash?" "She's up there," said Shukaku as he pointed his finger into the air while at the same time looking at the fruit stand. "Rainbow Dash," said Pinkie Pie. Rainbow Dash took her head out of the cloud and looked both ways. She then flew with Pinkie Pie hopping after her like Pepe Le Pew. Rainbow Dash hid behind the Apple family barn. "Phew. That was close," said Rainbow Dash. "Hi," said Pinkie Pie as she was right by Rainbow Dash. "Ah." Rainbow Dash flew faster than before and hid in the tree above the town library. Rainbow Dash pant so she regained her breath, but she was sitting on Pinkie Pie's head. "Hi again." "Ah." Rainbow Dash flew past Sweet Apple Acres with Pinkie Pie hopping after her. Rainbow Dash was on a cloud. As soon as the coast was clear, she descended near a pond. Pinkie Pie came out of the pond with scuba gear. I need a favor, Rainbow Dash." "Why?" said Rainbow Dash as she prepares to run again but stops. "Oh, forget it. I totally promise it'll be totally fun." Rainbow Dash sighs. "Okay." Scroll shop. Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash are outside a building. Rainbow Dash has a cloud with Pinkie Pie acting as a guide telling Rainbow Dash where to place the cloud. "Over to the right. No, a little to the left. Oh wait, back to the right. Now a little leftish while staying rightly. Stop. Maybe a few inches to the south. Now a couple centimeters north. Okay. One more smidgy meter to the," said Pinkie Pie until Rainbow Dash lets her frustration out. "Pinkie Pie," said Rainbow Dash. Perfect," said Pinkie Pie. "Wait, are you guys doing?" asked Naruto. The two ponies turned around to see Naruto and Kurama with their arms crossed. Nothing. Looks like you guys are setting up something. We want in," said Kurama. "Really?" said Pinkie Pie. Kurama nodded. After explaining what was happening, she had Naruto and Kurama hide. "Now wait for my signal." They looked inside to see Spike getting more scrolls while humming. As he walks outside, Pinkie Pie gives the signal. Rainbow Dash kicks the cloud emitting a thunderclap. "Ah!" Spike shouts as he drops the scroll. He then starts to hiccup. The four pranksters start to laugh. We startled Spike into getting the hiccups," said Pinkie Pie. "Nice. Normally it would be the other way around with the hiccups, but it was a good prank," said Kurama. "Tuckles, good one, Pinkie Hiccup Pie. Hiccup, you're always pulling a fast one hiccup on me," said Spike while constantly hiccuping. As Spike picked up a scroll, he hiccuped and breathed fire on the scroll. "Nah. Panterlet." As Princess Celestia is reading a book in her chambers, the scroll Spike teleported appeared by Celestia. "Ponyville." "Oh no, you're not hurt, are you?" asked Pinkie Pie. "Na hiccup don't be hiccup silly, dragons are hiccup fireproof," said Spike. "Oh, okay, good." Pinkie Pie, Rainbow Dash, Naruto, and Kurama laugh again. As Spike picks up a bunch of scrolls, he hiccups and breaths fire on those scrolls. "I wish the same thing hiccup were true with scrolls," said Spike. Antrolit. As Princess Celestia is still pondering about the scroll, more scrolls drop on her which elicits a gasp. Ponyville. The four pranksters continue to laugh while Spike hiccups and teleports more scrolls. "This is more hilarious than the time I put that fake mouse in Captain Yamato's drawer," said Naruto. "Hey, he subjected you to the face and scared you silly by his wood release," said Kurama. "Hey, it was worth it," said Naruto. "Have you ever seen anything more hilarious?" said Pinkie Pie. "I can think of one thing," said Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash kicks the cloud-emitting thunder, but it only scares Pinkie Pie. "Ah." Pinkie then gets the hiccups. "I didn't take you for a prankster, Pinkie Pie," said Rainbow Dash. "Are you hiccup kidding?" "Hiccup, I love to pull pranks. It's all hiccup and good fun, and Pinkie Pie low hiccup oves to have hiccup fun. Hiccup. You know Pinkie Pie, you're not as annoying as I thought. You wanna hang out?" "That'd be hiccup, I'd really hiccup when do hiccup I mean hiccup when would you," said Pinkie Pie until Rainbow Dash puts her hand on Pinkie Pie's mouth. A simple nod would do. Eyes, want to join us?" "Oh, yeah," said Kurama. "So, who should we prank first?" Pinkie Pie asked. How about two of the most prissy girls we know?" Kurama said as he rubbed his hands. Outside Carousel Boutique. Naruto knocks on the door with a chakra arm and retracts it. "Are they even there?" said Rainbow Dash. "I don't know. But if they are, Madatabi's gonna be pissed," said Kurama. "There they are," said Rainbow Dash. Rarity and Madatabi come outside. Rarity sniffs the flowers while Madatabi opens the present left for her. When Rarity sniffs the flowers, some pink stuff was on her nose which was causing her to sneeze. When Madatabi opened the present, a Jack in the Box pops out with a picture of a menacing dog taped on it. It scared the mess out of Madatabi. They look around to see the four pranksters laughing at them. "Grr. Kurama, come over here so I can claw your face," said Madatabi as her claws extended. "Ought to catch me first, dear sister," said Kurama as he and Naruto use the body flicker and disappear. Rainbow Dash flies out of there fast but accidentally knocked over the sneezing stuff they put on the flowers and some of it gets on Pinkie Pie. "Achoo," said Pinkie Pie as she sneezes to where the others went. Rarity just smiles as well as Madatabi. My idiot brother is the same as always," said Madatabi. The library. Twilight is working on an experiment with Team Oxen and the Gold and Silver brothers. As Twilight is writing some stuff down, she turns around but suddenly hears a poof. She looks and sees that the writing on the scroll she had disappeared. Said Twilight. Suddenly, Ginkaku, Killer Bee and Jayuki start to itch. "What the my body's itching," said Jayuki as he kept scratching his body. "Mine too," said Kinkaku. They look outside to see the Pinkie Pie with the bottle of disappearing ink and Kurama had the itching powder. Despite the pain they felt, Team Oxen and the brothers just smiled as well as Twilight. The pranksters then laugh. Sweet Apple Acres. Team Tandicus and Team Dolphin Horses were helping Applejack move apples when suddenly they see all of the apples were painted. "Land sakes," said Applejack. "This looks disturbing," said Han. Suddenly, a huge volume of water is dumped on Team Tandicus and Dolphin Horses. What the? Said Shukaku. Naruto and Kurama had dumped the water from the top of the barn while Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash painted the apples. As the pranksters laugh, Applejack and Shukaku start chucking apples. They all run, but as some of the apples go into the bucket of water, the paint disappears and the apple's color is revealed. "Humph. Those idiots," said Shukaku and Kokuou while chuckling alongside their Jinchuriki and Applejack. The pond. While Fluttershy is feeding the animals, some more appear at the banks of the pond. But one of them was actually a fake. Rainbow Dash and Pinkie Pie set the trap while Naruto and Kurama had to finish a few errands. "Is someone over there? Who are we gonna squirt? Who are we gonna squirt?" said Pinkie Pie as she had the button for the toy to squirt water in her mouth. Rainbow Dash then chuckles as she gives her answer while looking through a telescope. "Fluttershy," said Rainbow Dash. "What?" Pinkie Pie spits out the button. No, we can't prank Fluttershy, I mean, she's so sensitive. It'll hurt her feelings, even our most harmless prank." "Yeah, you're right." Rainbow Dash blows a raspberry. We need another victim who's made of tougher stuff. So, who's it gonna be?" When Rainbow Dash takes her eye off the telescope, some ink was around the eye. "Oh, Chuckles, I've got someone in mind. Chuckles the toughest around." "Oh, awesome. Who?" Do I know them? Giggles, oh, yes. Giggles, you're very close. Rainbow Dash looks in the pond's reflection and sees Pinkie Pie's prank. Rainbow Dash chuckles. Good one, Pinkie Pie. But you're right. And I have the perfect candidate in mind. Ponyville. Their candidate. Naruto. They had the plan. Here's the plan. We place a bit below the bucket. When Naruto picks it up, we dump this water on him. Got it? Said Rainbow Dash. Got it, Dashy. Said Pinkie Pie. As Naruto and Kurama walk down the street, they see a bit. Alright, score. Said Naruto. Naruto walks over to it, oblivious that there was a bucket of water above him. As Naruto set foot in the spot, Rainbow Dash grabbed the pulley and snatched the rope back. But the bucket didn't spring, and Naruto picked up the bit scot-free. As the duo walk off, Rainbow Dash was left confused. As she and Pinkie Pie checked the trap, the pulley pulled the rope, and water got dumped on the two ponies. Ah! Shouted the two pranksters as the water was dumped on them. Ahaha! Said Naruto as he and Kurama came back while flicking the bit in the air up and down. I've done pranks ever since I was young. You'll need 100 years before you could ever prank me. As Naruto was about to gloat, water fell on Naruto and Kurama. Huh? Naruto and Kurama look up to see the Jinchuriki and the Biju on the roof with a bucket of the water. Revenge is sweet, isn't it, Kurama? Said Matatabi as she and the others escape while laughing. The pranksters just laugh. The next morning, Rainbow Dash's house. Pinkie Pie comes up the hill from Ponyville wearing some weird mask on her face. Rise and shine, Rainbow Dash. It's a brand new day and we got a lot of pranking too, said Pinkie Pie until she sees an eagle head pop out from Rainbow Dash's home and look right at her. Ooh. Rainbow Dash comes out of the cloud. Mornin', Pinks. Gilda, this is my gal pal, Pinkie Pie. Rainbow Dash said as she and her friend come from the house. Her friend had the body of a lion but the head of an eagle. Hey. What's up? Said Gilda in a nonchalant tone. Pinkie, this is my griffin friend Gilda. What's a griffin? Asked Pinkie Pie. She's half eagle, half lion. And all awesome. Rah. Heh. Yeah, that's right. Said Gilda. Gilda's my best friend from my days at Junior Speedster Flight Camp. Hey, remember the chant? Rainbow Dash asked the griffin. Shaw, they made us recite it every morning, I'll never get that lame thing out of my head. So Rainbow Dash said to Gilda as she nudged her shoulder. Ugh. Only for you, Dash. The two then went into the air. Rainbow Dash Gilda. Junior Speedsters are our lives. Skybound soars and daring dives. Junior Speedsters, it's our quest. To someday be the very best. The two then came back to the ground while Pinkie Pie laughed after watching the chant. Oh, that was awesome and it gave me a great idea for a prank. Gilda, you game? Said Pinkie Pie. Huh. Well, I groove on a good prank as much as the next griffin. But Dash, you promised me we'd get a flying session in this morning. Said Gilda. Yeah, well, Pinkie Pie, you don't mind, do you? Gilda just got here. We'll catch up with you later. Said Rainbow Dash. Oh. Well sure, no problem. Have fun you guys, I'll, just catch up with you later. Said Pinkie Pie. She then blows her party hooter sadly. Jinchuriki training field. Spike was training with the Gold and Silver brothers, Naruto and Kurama. Spike was fighting hand to hand with Ginkaku, while Naruto, Kurama and Ginkaku were watching. Not bad Spike. Said Ginkaku. Spike didn't develop any jutsu yet, but his power and speed were getting better. Thanks Ginkaku. Said Spike as he threw a roundhouse kick at Ginkaku's head. Ginkaku brought up his left hand and blocked. Before the two could deal another blow, they notice a large shadow. They look up and see some weird flying contraption coming towards them. Run. Said the two as they scattered. When the machine fell, they see Pinkie Pie on the machine. Pinkie Pie was okay, but the machine wasn't. Pinkie Pie, what happened? Asked Spike. A few minutes ago above Team Fox's. Gilda and Rainbow Dash were flying through the air a bit and landed on a cloud. Whoa, that was sweet. Just like old times. Said Gilda. Yeah, only faster. So now what? Said Rainbow Dash. Hey there. Said Pinkie Pie. Huh? Said Gilda and Rainbow Dash. They see that Pinkie Pie put herself in the air by strapping balloons to her body. It's later. And I caught up. Pinkie Pie, you are so random. Rainbow Dash said. Hey Dash, think you got enough gas left to beat me to that cloud? Gilda said. The race. You are so on. Rainbow Dash said. 1, 2, 3, go. Gilda said. Rainbow Dash went on ahead, but Gilda popped some of Pinkie's balloons. Hey. Said Pinkie Pie as she fell down. Rainbow Dash made it to the cloud first. I win. Rainbow Dash said. As if. I won, dude. Gilda said. No way. Yes way. Oh, come on, I was way ahead of you. I don't think so. Oh geez, dream on. Remember back in camp? There's no way you beat me. Whatever. Wow guys, that was really close, but I think Rainbow Dash beat you by a teeny weeny itty bitty hair or a teeny weeny itty bitty feather. Pinkie Pie said as she was in a flying machine. Ha, see? Good thing Pinkie Pie's here to keep you honest, G Rainbow Dash said. Gilda then glared. So, Dash, got any new moves in your Trictionary, or are you 100% old school? Gilda said as she poked Rainbow Dash's chest. New moves? Heh, sit back G, this is gonna take a while. When Rainbow Dash flew into the air, Gilda got her chance. Hey Pinkie, come here. Gilda said. Yeah? Pinkie Pie said. Gilda then Pinkie Pie. Don't you know how to get lost for an answer? Dash doesn't need to hang with a dweeb like you now that I'm around. You're dorking up the skies, Stinky Pie, so make like a bee and buzz off. Gilda said. She then twisted the propellers and sent Pinkie falling to the ground. Wah Pinkie Pie said as she fell to where Team Fox's was training. Try matching that. Rainbow Dash said as she came back to Gilda. Hey, where's Pinkie Pie and her crazy contraption? She left. Something about being as busy as a bee. Gilda said. Present time. That really happened. Spike said. Of course it did. Pinkie Pie said. Okay, just go walk it off and we'll talk with you later. Kinkaku said. As Pinkie Pie walked off, Team Foxes went to go find the others. The library. Pinkie Pie was now talking with Twilight and Kokuou. So Pinkie Pie, are you sure that this friend of Rainbow Dash is really so mean? Twilight asked while reading a book. Yeah. She keeps stealing Rainbow Dash away, she pops my balloons, and she told me to buzz off. I've never met a griffin this mean. Well, actually, I've never met a griffin at all, but I bet if I had, she wouldn't have been as mean and grumpy as Gilda. Pinkie Pie said. Pinkie, are you jealous? Kokuou asked. Jealous? Pinkie Pie. Well, yes. Jealous. Listen Pinkie, I don't want to upset you, but just because Rainbow Dash has another friend doesn't make Gilda a grump. I mean, perhaps it's you, Pinkie, who needs to improve her attitude. Said Twilight. Improve my attitude. But it's Gilda that D are you serious? Pinkie Pie stuttered until she left the shop while shouting out with frustration. Kurama then contacted Kokuou. Kokuou, was Pinkie just there? Kurama asked. Yeah. She was talking about Gilda, but I believe she was just jealous. Kokuou said. No, I don't believe that's the case. Gilda knocked Pinkie Pie to where me and Naruto, Kinkaku and Ginkaku were training Spike. What? Come find us at the house and we'll talk about this. Kokuou then left the library before Twilight could ask Kokuou if there was a problem. Outside Sugar Cube Corner. Pinkie Pie was drinking a smoothie. Maybe Twilight is right. Maybe Gilda isn't a big meanie grumpy meanie pants. Maybe I'm just a big jealous judgmental jealousy pants. Said Pinkie Pie as she sighed. She then hides under the umbrella on the table as she sees Gilda and Rainbow Dash descend. That was sweet. Said Gilda. Ugh, I gotta take care of a few weather jobs around here. Shouldn't take long. Just, hang out in town and I'll come find you. Said Rainbow Dash. That's cool, I guess. I'm gonna go chow down. Later. Rainbow Dash then flies. This is when Gilda shows her true character. She hid behind the fruit stand just as Granny Smith came by. As Granny Smith sniffed the apple, Gilda put her up tail and scared Granny Smith. A rattler, a rattler. Run for the hills. Everybody forsake yourselves. Said Granny Smith as she ran away albeit slowly. This stuff ain't fresh, dude. Said Gilda as she poked an apple. Aw, poor Granny Smith, she didn't know it was a joke. How mean. No, I can't misjudge her. It was kind of a funny prank, I guess. Said Pinkie Pie but stopped her misunderstanding. She then sees Gilda swipe an apple and eat. Pinkie Pie then gasps. I did misjudge her. She's not only a mean pants, she's also a thief. No, she might give it back. It's just a joke. Said Pinkie Pie but stopped her misunderstanding again. But what happened next will show that Pinkie Pie was right all along. Fluttershy was going backwards while guiding some ducks. Alright little ones, this way. Mama duck, you're free and clear. Said Fluttershy. She then bumped into Gilda by mistake. Hey. Said Gilda. Please excuse me. Said Fluttershy. I'm walking here. Said Gilda as she raises her voice. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just trying to Fluttershy said as she back up. I'm sorry. Why don't you just watch where you're going, doofus? Gilda said as she mocked Fluttershy's voice. But I said Fluttershy until Gilda breathes in and yells at Fluttershy but a hand then grabs Gilda's beak and closes her mouth. It is revealed that Kokuou grabbed Gilda's beak. I should have known. Pinkie Pie was right about you all along. Kokuou said as he still had Gilda's mouth closed. Fluttershy was now crying. Fluttershy, move out of the way. I don't need you to get involved. Fluttershy nodded and moved to the side out of the street. Hey, let my mouth go you freak. Gilda said under a muffled voice. Kokuou didn't listen to her. No way. Ever since Rainbow Dash left, I've been watching every little move you made. I'm here to stop it. The rest of the Jinchuriki and the Biju came out of the shadows, but Gilda didn't notice them. Now apologize to Fluttershy. Getting angry, Gilda swipes her claws at Kokuou who then steps back while letting go of Gilda's beak. That's it freak. You've made me mad. Bring it on. Gilda rushed to Kokuou. She jumped at the dolphin horse with her claws ready. She tries to slash Kokuou, but he rolls out of the way. She's fast but not fast enough. Kokuou roundhouse kicks Gilda in the cheeks, sending her rolling down the street. Gilda got off the ground. Kokuou was just standing there not even moving. In fact, Kokuou had his back turned to her. Gilda was still angry so she ran at him. Don't you ever learn to quit. Kokuou then threw an elbow in Gilda's face. When she was distracted, Kokuou bucked her hard. Arg! Shouted Gilda. Gilda recoiled from the buck and punched Kokuou straight in the jaw. He wasn't even fazed, but this only infuriated Gilda. Roar. Gilda roared as she clawed Kokuou across the torso and ended up ripping his shirt. Yo! Kokuou shouted. Kokuou, despite feeling pain from the slash, starts punching Gilda and kicks her down the street. Gilda was getting exhausted, but Kokuou just stayed in his exact spot when the fight even started. What the heck are you? Gilda asked. Who knows? Why don't you come and make me tell you? Kokuou said. Gilda flew into the air and prepared to try to catch him like a bird of prey would. As she zoomed in Kokuou stepped to the side quickly as she landed. What? Kokuou then grabbed her tail. Using his strength, he starts spinning her by using the tail like a lasso. Hey stop it. Said Gilda as she was at Kokuou's mercy. Okay. Said Kokuou as he let Gilda go and she went flying into a dumpster. Gilda then burst from the dumpster now incredibly pissed. That does it. I'm finishing you right now. Said Gilda as she flew at Kokuou at quick speed. You started this. So I'm finishing it. Said Kokuou as he ran at her. He blocked Gilda's slash to the face. He then grabbed Gilda and knocked her into the air. Kokuou then jumped into the air with her. He knocked her back down to the ground. As she looked up, she saw Kokuou coming down. As she braced for a hard hit, she looked to see Kokuou's fist only inches from her face. Just be lucky I didn't do anything more than this. Now stay away from Fluttershy. Kokuou got away from Gilda. She then got up. You'll pay for this freak. Mark my words. Said Gilda as she flew off with a headache and some sore ribs. Kokuou got a sore jaw and a clawed torso that was bleeding a little, but the dolphin horse dealt with worse than that. Fluttershy, you okay? Asked Han. Fluttershy was sniffing. Yeah. Said Fluttershy as she wiped her tears away. Kokuou, are you alright? Asked Kinkaku. Yep. Just need a few bandages. Kokuou said. You were right all along, Pinkie Pie. She won't get away with this. Yugura said. You're right Yugura. This calls for extreme measures, Pinkie Pie style. Said Pinkie Pie. You have a plan. Enlighten us. Said Kurama. Sugar Cube Corner. Welcome. Said Pinkie Pie as she started inviting friends to Gilda's party. This is her big plan. A party. Said Kurama. The others arrived except for Rainbow Dash and Gilda. Who's this Gilda I've heard nothing about? Said Applejack. Just an old friend of Rainbow Dash. Said Han with a flat tone. I hear she's an old friend of Rainbow Dash. A griffin, so rare. Said Rarity. You've met Gilda, right? What's she like? Twilight asked the others. You'll know when you see her. Said Kokuou. Twilight then took note of Kokuou's bandaged torso. Kokuou, what happened to you? Kokuou then quickly made a lie. The bear attacked me so I got fixed up quickly. Oh okay. Said Twilight as she went to mingle with the other ponies. Pinkie Pie, about this party for Gilda. Do you really think it's a good idea? I mean said Fluttershy until Pinkie Pie tries to lower her worries. Don't worry your pretty little head about mean old Gilda. Your auntie Pinkie Pie's got it all taken care of. Said Pinkie Pie. I'm a year older than you. Said Fluttershy, but her reply was on deaf ears. As Kokuou was waiting around, a tap was felt on his shoulders. Kokuou turned around to see an angry Rainbow Dash. What do you think you're doing? Rainbow Dash said. Doing what? The dolphin horse asked. Throwing this party. Gilda told me what happened at the market. Rainbow Dash said with calm fury. She did? Kokuou said as he glared at the griffin. Yeah. She told me how you attacked her out of nowhere. She was minding her business when you suddenly got a fit and beat her up for no reason. She even has the injuries to prove it. She actually had to claw you in order for you to stop. The Jinchuriki and Biju were watching and were surprised by Gilda's claim. What? Gilda started it, not Kokuou. Kinkaku thought. Excuse me? I think your friend left out some details. Kokuou said. I don't care. Shouted Rainbow Dash. This caused the whole room to become silent. She was now in Kokuou's face, but the dolphin horse wasn't backing off. I trusted you, Kokuou, but how can I when you attack my friends? You really are a monster. A monster that only lives to hurt others. You make me sick. This shocked the dolphin horse. Aren't you going to listen to my story? Kokuou said to the Pegasus. No. Get out. But Kokuou said as he tried to explain, but Rainbow Dash didn't give him the chance. Get out. Shouted the Pegasus as she gave Kokuou a strong punch to the jaw, a lot harder than what Gilda did to him earlier. A small trickle of blood came out of his mouth. Some of the ponies in the store expected a fight, but Kokuou didn't attack. He used his arm and wiped away the blood. Fine. Kokuou walked out past a seething Rainbow Dash. Before he left, he gave a warning to a smirking Gilda. You won't get away with this. I think I already have. Said Gilda. Oh, Kokuou. Said Fluttershy, but Naruto and Han stopped her. They shook their heads. Outside. Outside, Kokuou went onto the tree by the hill and just sat down under it. Now I just have to wait. Thought Kokuou as he waited for Pinkie Pie to succeed. Sugar Cube Corner. As the ponies were trying to get over what had happened, Pinkie Pie started it off by welcoming Pinkie Pie. Gilda. I'm so honored to throw you one of my signature Pinkie Pie parties, and I really, truly, sincerely, hope you feel welcome here amongst all us pony folk. Said Pinkie Pie as she brought out her hand. As Gilda shook her hand, she got a jolt from the Huffshake buzzer sending her to the floor. Naruto had a smirk on his face after watching this. Oh Naruto, the old Huffshake buzzer. You are a scream. Said Rainbow Dash who was now happier that Kokuou was gone. Yeah, chuckles nervously. Good one, Pinkie Pie. Said Gilda. Come on G, I'll introduce you to some of my other friends. Said Rainbow Dash. Right behind you Dash. Said Gilda. Before she could join Rainbow Dash, she spoke to Pinkie Pie. I know what you're up to. Said Gilda. Great. Said Pinkie Pie. RRRH. I know what you're planning. Well, I hope so. This wasn't supposed to be a surprise party. Said Pinkie Pie, not taking her Gilda's threat seriously. I mean, I've got my eye on you. Gilda said, reaffirming her threat. And I got my eye on you. Pinkie Pie said as she bulged her eye out. Everyone, I'd like you all to meet Gilda, a long-time dear friend of Rainbow Dash. Let's honor her and welcome her to Ponyville. All of the ponies while the Jinchuriki and the Biju just kept a solemn face. Please help yourself. Vanilla lemon drops. Don't mind if I do. Gilda said as she ate a few lemon drops. Suddenly her mouth started to burn. Hot. The team except for the main six realizes what the pranking was supposed to do. Now I get the plan. Pinkie Pie, you are quite the troublemaker. Son Goku thought. Gee, the punch. Rainbow Dash said as she pointed to the punch. Huh? Gilda grabs a glass and pours some punch in it. As she attempts to douse the drink, it pours out onto her shirt. Everyone including the Jinchuriki and Biju laugh. Well, wha'd you know, pepper and the vanilla lemon drops and the punch served in a dribble glass. Pinkie Pie said. Ha. Priceless. Priceless. Rainbow Dash said while laughing. Gilda then dunks her head into the punch bowl and brings it back out. Yeah, hilarious. Hey G, look, presents. Rainbow Dash said as she pointed to the presents. As Gilda opened a present, fake snakes came out of the box. Spittin' snakes. Ha, some pony pulled that prank on me last month. Applejack said as everyone starts to laugh again. Ha ha. I bet I know who that was. Gilda said in a sarcastic voice, directed to Pinkie Pie. You do? Pinkie Pie said, oblivious to Gilda's threat. Gilda looks like she's going to snap. Time to take things up a notch. Naruto thought. 15 minutes later. As everyone, pony, was enjoying the party, Naruto and Pinkie Pie bring out the cake. Fake time every pony. Pinkie Pie said. Hey, can I blow out the candles? Spike asked. Naruto whispered to Shukaku, and the Tanuki got an evil grin. Why don't we let Gilda blow out the candles, Spike? She is the guest of honor after all. Shukaku said. Spike remembered what Gilda did to Pinkie Pie, so he nodded. Gilda then bumped Spike out of the way who was then caught by Kurama. Exactly. Gilda said as she blew the candles. Suddenly, they relit. Gilda then proceeded to blow out the candles multiple times, only to see them relight. Everyone then laughs as Gilda loses her breath. Relighting birthday candles, I love that prank. What a classic. Spike said. Sure is. Han said. Now, I wonder who could have done that. Pinkie Pie said. Yeah, I wonder. Gilda said. Who cares? This cake is amazing. Spike said as he burrowed through the cake. Spike. Twilight said. What? It's great, try some. Spike said. Hey gee, you're not upset about some silly candles, are you? Rainbow Dash asked the griffin. No way Dash, like I said, I'm down with a good prank. Gilda said. It's time for the main event. Seiken thought. Come on then, let's have some cake. Rainbow Dash said. As Pinkie Pie bit into the cake, Gilda grabbed her neck and brought her behind the cake. Hey, I'm watching you. Like a hawk. Gilda said. Why? Can't you watch me like a griffin? Pinkie Pie asked. Gilda and Pinkie Pie come out from behind the cake with innocent smiles. Hey y'all, it's pin the tail on the pony. Let's play. Applejack said. Oh, my favorite game. Can I go first? Can I have the purple tail? Rarity asked. Well, I am the guest of honor and I'll have the purple tail. Gilda said. Yeah, Gilda should definitely go first. Let's get you blindfolded. Pinkie Pie said. Hey what are you doing? Rah. Gilda said as she is blindfolded and spun around by Pinkie Pie. We're spinning you around and then you can pin the tail on the pony. Now just walk straight ahead and pin the tail. Pinkie Pie said. Now just walk straight ahead and pin the tail. Gilda said, mocking Pinkie Pie's voice. HMPH, yeah, right. This is another prank, isn't it? I'm going this way. Gilda then walked the other way. Without anyone looking, Shikaku accidentally drops a piece of cake. Wait. The poster is this, Pinkie Pie said to no avail. Gilda then slips on the piece of cake Shikaku dropped. Oh wah 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 wah. Gilda shouted as she slid into the table. As she got up, she had a tail on her nose and the way it was on her beak made it look like a mustache. Gilda. You pinned the tail on the wrong end. Pinkie Pie said as every pony laughed. The Jinchuriki and Biju could feel Gilda about to blow her top. Gilda then roars at the top of her lungs. This is your idea of a good time? I've never met a lamer bunch of dweebs in all my life. Gilda said. Her eyes then become slits. And Pinkie Pie, you are Queen Lame-o with your weak little party pranks. Did you really think you could make me lose my cool? Well, Dash and I have 10 times as much cool as the rest of you put together. Come on Dash, we're bailing on this pathetic scene. Come on Rainbow Dash. I said, we're leaving. Before Rainbow Dash could open her mouth, Naruto speaks up. Actually Gilda, we set up those weak pranks. Naruto said to the griffin. What? Gilda said as she gasped in surprise. Ooh. Pinkie Pie said. We had to show Rainbow Dash what you truly are. A bully. And I think it worked. What better way than for you to insult everyone here by making you lose your patience? Rainbow Dash was about to protest that, but Naruto put up a finger. Listen first before you say anything Rainbow Dash. No way. Pinkie Pie set up those pranks. She did it to josh me up. Gilda said. Me? I threw this party to improve your attitude. I thought a good party might turn that frown upside down. Pinkie Pie said. And it looked like bad luck was on your side this time. Yugura said. You freaks are lying. Gilda growled. Freak. Funny, you called my brother the same thing when he stopped you from picking on Fluttershy at the market earlier. Kurama said. What? Rainbow Dash said. So, Gilda forgot that piece of info? Kurama sarcastically asked. That's right. Kokuou wasn't the only one there. All of us as well as Pinkie Pie were watching you. You were just trying to focus on beating Kokuou that you never saw us watching you. We saw you scare Granny Smith, steal the apple, and roar at Fluttershy and made her cry. He only fought you to make you stop. My brother, the kindest and reserved out of the 9 of us, would never fight unless it involved someone he cared for. That's not the stallion he is. Gilda's eyes went wide as she knew her lies were uncovered. Shukaku then started walking to her, making her back up. How dare you? You lied to Rainbow Dash and made my brother look like he was the bad guy. What kind of sick person does that? Rainbow Dash trusted you yet you pulled that little stunt. Humph, maybe you should go find other friends yourself. In frustration, Gilda then tried to punch Shukaku straight in the face, but Shukaku just caught it with his palm with ease. See, just a bully. You thrive on other people's misery just to make yourself look high and mighty. Shukaku released her hand. Rainbow Dash, are you going to listen to these freaks? Gilda said to Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash just looked at her with a mean stare but didn't say anything. RRGH. Yeah. Well you are such a flip-flop. Cool 1 minute and lame the next. When you decide not to be lame anymore, give me a call. Gilda said as she left. You then hear a bird of prey shriek. Not cool. Killer Bee said. Wow, talk about a party pooper. Spike said. Rainbow Dash then approached the Jinchuriki and Biju. So, everything you said was true? Kokuou was only protecting Fluttershy? Rainbow Dash asked. Yeah. Tell her Fluttershy. Han said. I was herding the ducks through the town when I suddenly bumped into Gilda. She started taunting me and she then roared at me, but Kokuou made her stop. She tried to fight Kokuou and she ended up cutting Kokuou on the chest. Fluttershy explained. Rainbow Dash then felt terrible, especially after what she called Kokuou before he left the party. I have to go. Rainbow Dash said as she left the store. Outside. Kokuou had his hands rested behind his head while he was sitting by the tree. He suddenly saw Gilda shriek in frustration. Before she left the town, Gilda saw Kokuou look at her with one eye open. She mouthed something and flew off. Yeah Gilda, I feel your fury. Kokuou said. Now, he wondered if Rainbow Dash would still hate him. Because of him, one of Rainbow Dash's old friends was gone. Kokuou? Kokuou heard a voice say his name. It was so quiet and timid, the Biju didn't quite recognize it at first. When he turned his head around, he saw Rainbow Dash. He saw her head hung low, but from his vantage point, he could see her holding back tears. Kokuou then sighed that he was expecting her to go off on him again. Rainbow Dash, Kokuou said before Rainbow Dash dropped down and wrapped her arms around his neck. Rainbow Dash was now sobbing. Kokuou, I'm so sorry. I'm so very sorry. Please, don't hate me. Rainbow Dash said as she begged for Kokuou's forgiveness. Kokuou was now shocked because he was expecting an apology, but to see one of the toughest tomboys in town now sobbing threw him off. He was confused at first, but he found the words to comfort her. Hey, stop crying. I hate to see mares cry. Kokuou said as he calmed her down. Please, just stop crying. Rainbow Dash was still sobbing, but less than before, and she let go of Kokuou. When Gilda told me that you beat her up, I was just so angry. I thought you didn't care for me or my friends anymore. But after the others told me that you were protecting Fluttershy, I learned that I made a huge mistake. I called my own friend a monster and punched him in front of every pony. You probably hate me now. What have I done? Rainbow Dash said as she lowered her head, believing that Kokuou does not wish to be her friend anymore. She remembered that the Biju detested being called monsters, and after that insult she made, she was certain that Kokuou would never talk to her again. But it was the opposite. Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash lifted her head to see Kokuou hug her while smiling. Rainbow Dash, you're one of the best flyers I've seen, and I have a lot of respect for you. I don't hate you. I never will. You won't? Of course not. You're my student and my best friend. I could never hold a grudge against you. But, I want you to control your temper later on, okay? Okay. Rainbow Dash said as she wiped away her tears. Kokuou then let go of her. Good. The two were now sitting side by side. They just sat there looking at the setting sun. I guess this means I have to do some extreme workout tomorrow for punching you at the party. Rainbow Dash said. Nope. I let you off the hook for now. Kokuou said. Good. Rainbow Dash said quietly. What was that? Kokuou asked. Nothing. Rainbow Dash said in defense. Rainbow Dash could feel that this was the first time she acted girly. The first time in years. Haha. I'm just messing with you. Kokuou then patted Rainbow Dash's shoulder. You still want to go back to the party? Nah. I rather stay out here for a while. Rainbow Dash said as she put her head on Kokuou's arm as they stared at the sunset. Sure. Oh, and if you tell anyone that I cried on your shoulders, I'll give you a harder punch than before. Rainbow Dash said. You did look cute when you were crying. Rainbow Dash then hit Kokuou's arm, only making him laugh. Sugar Cube Corner. The ponies enjoyed the party, while Twilight had Spike send a message. Twilight Sparkle. Dearest Princess Celestia. Today I learned that it's hard to accept when some pony you like wants to spend time with some pony who's not so nice. Though it's impossible to control who your friends hang out with, it is possible to control your own behavior. Just continue to be a good friend. In the end, the difference between a false friend and the one who is true will surely come to light. Your faithful student. Twilight Sparkle. Antrolit. After reading the letter, Celestia was about to write her back. Princess Celestia. Dear Twilight Sparkle. My most faithful student, suddenly, the ink disappears. She actually used disappearing ink. Oh, wrong ink. Celestia then chuckles upon realizing her mistake. Of Kokuou and Rainbow Dash. Kokuou was leaning on the tree, while Rainbow Dash was snuggled up against Kokuou's arm. The Jinchuriki and Biju were watching from far off. What a gentleman. Madatabi commented. So this part ends here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, so quickly like this video for second part of this series. And comment down below your thoughts about this series. And now it's time for me to go, bye.